All right, hello everybody. I hope you're ready for this tournament. We're gonna be having our Monday shuffle instead of Sunday shuffle because things happen. So we got a pretty stacked tournament today. We have 27 attendees right now, and we even have the Devin here as well. So this is gonna be pretty crazy. We got Perp in here. We got a lot of our trainees in here as well. We're gonna possibly see some trainee versus trainee sets. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is gonna be really exciting to watch.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. And first up, we have Snake versus Random Hydra. Random Hydra, we've seen quite a few of these tournaments. Snake, a newer entrant, actually a top player, like one of the best brawlers in Omega Strikers. So they have the competitive gamer gene. It'll be interesting to see how this matchup goes.
All right, so looks like we got a more of like a pretty standard Seliki deck right here. I'm gonna say Seliki. I don't care about the pronunciation. Leave me alone. All right. We also got a nice little Blink combo Coretta deck going on with Hydra. So I've seen a little bit of Hydra playing, but I don't think I've seen Snake play. So can't wait to find out.
Yeah, Snake's deck is looking pretty basic here, going for the simple combinations with the steps, but Hydra's here for big damage. You know exactly what Hydra wants, and there are a lot of scary cards.
Yeah, we got the Rag in there, we got the Whirl, the Thunder, you know, basically if you get hit by that W2, you pretty much just dying. So
Yeah.
Snake's definitely going to have to be very careful of that and play around that front row pressure that Coretta has, or front column now, that we call it.
Gonna be a little bit dangerous here as Hydra is getting so much damage. Goes for the raw Thunder, gets a little greedy with it, but you can when the next touch will lead to Snake's death. This damage deficit is getting a little severe, and 5 health remains.
And is that it? Yep. The blink into the W2 step slash.
It's looking tough. Snake, it's gonna be hard to keep up with all of this damage coming out from Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra's deck has a quite a high damage output, but they are looks like we got some early shuffles, so I'm not sure what Hydra's thinking here. But Snake's gonna have a hard time keeping up with that DPS. We saw last match, you know, just Hydra just winning by a very large HP margin, so I'm hoping that we'll see Snake adapt a bit and maybe evade some of these starters a bit better.
Oh, and Hydra actually playing pretty safely here, not fishing too hard for the secondary into Ragnarok type combo. Goes for the line though, gets the root, and that's a whirl as well. So much damage down, but Snake's feeling a lot more in pace this game so far.
Yeah, Snake just landing every hit here and there, just doing that usual Seliki style poking damage.
Gonna be hard though, you gotta watch out for this W2, and yeah. Hydra's fishing for it.
Yeah, Hydra has Rag in hand. The next W2 will end the game. Right there.
It's tough. Hydra has the deck on lock, and Snake isn't quite outputting the DPS to keep up with it.
Once again, Hydra probably going to be looking for W2 right here. There it is. Into the whirl. Luckily not having enough mana for the Ragnarok, though. Otherwise, Snake might be in a bit of a tough spot. But this is a very, very easily comebackable situation.
Yeah, especially with that Ragnarok and that counter hit. Snake is keeping up in the damage this time, playing the neutral game, but the Mistletoe not being really effective for Snake so far, using it in neutral a lot, and Hydra will just walk away from it.
Ooh, that not a W2, but instead opting for the push slash Thunder, which honestly is probably the better option.
Gotta watch out here, but Snake finding a good chunk of damage now. Just needs to not get hit, but does get hit there. The whirl, big damage. W2, 39 damage combo from Random Hydra.
Yeah, Snake definitely just has to be very careful about those blinks, you know, right there. That was a good dodge, because just one blink into W2 and, you know, just 30 to 40 HP is just gone. Just gone immediately, so you really do have to play careful. And speaking of careful, Snake unfortunately not being careful and walking straight into that Ragnarok.
Oh man, what an unfortunate end to this set. Snake was doing so well near the end, almost catching up, but just getting caught by the Ragnarok.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I've walked into Rag plenty of times. Sometimes you just see the Rag, it's not really something you think about because, you can easily dodge out on reaction, but then, sometimes you're just moving and you just walk into it by accident.
Well, that's our first game. Well played to both players here in our first round. And we're going to see our next matchup soon. We might be waiting a bit, though. The other first round matchups have not progressed as quickly, but Residential against Lepton in the first round in a 5-game series, Shopkeeper versus Shopkeeper.
Oh, that's interesting. We have 3 Shopkeepers up there.
Yeah, it is the Shopkeeper hell in the top quarter of the bracket, and Eden Dev is within that hell, so we'll see if Eden Dev can make it out.
Yeah, we'll see if Eden Dev will make it out of Shopkeeper hell up there in the ABC. Oh, it looks like the results have come in. Residential winning that set over Lepton. Looks like it was a close one, 3-2. So now we just gotta wait for the results between Eden Dev and Mechachito. And we'll see if we get the desired Eden Dev versus Shopkeeper.
Yep, it'll be very interesting to see as other games are finishing up as well. Aneurysms and Tenebrae looking like they've taken their first round games quite decisively. And
yeah, 3-0 versus Patat, which is that's a alpha player, right?
No. Patat is a player who bought the game a few hours ago.
Okay, never mind then. You Patat with the alpha player, Potato. I just thought that maybe they were picking maybe they decided to drop the O, but then I saw the Terra and I'm like, yeah, I don't think Potato plays Terra the last time I checked.
Another interesting thing though is this second round is now so scary. In the first few tournaments, people were still finding their footing, but there are some launch player demons that are in this second round. Of course, Residential with the perp-esque deck, but also Lux, someone who gets so much damage against Random Hydra. Both of them are kind of mirrors of each other, and honestly, I'm so down to catch that game. It's going to be pretty quick.
Oh yeah, that is coming up, right? I guess we're gonna see multiple mirrors because we might we might potentially see Residential versus Perp later, and then we're gonna have Lux versus Random Hydra here, right? So that's already kind of like two dittos.
Yep. So we'll have to see. Lux versus Random Hydra is gonna be an interesting one. Again, both of them have pretty similar decks, but Lux is leaning more into the San style, while Random Hydra has a lot of slashes, has a lot of cards that you just throw out in neutral. And I think historically Lux has been a little bit more successful here.
Yeah, let me check. Oh, are they starting their set? Or do you already okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be Lux and Hydra.
Okay.
Both of them have been doing quite well, but Lux getting second place in last week's tournament actually, so doing very, very well there.
Yeah, and Lux has just overall just been regularly participating in these tournaments as well. I've seen her in quite a number at this point, I believe.
Well, we'll have to see in this Chiretta Civil War here.
Yep, Chiretta Civil War. Let's see which side will win. We have the Order versus whatever the other side represents.
Winners round 2. This is a pretty important game in the grand scheme of things. You do not want to go to losers early when there are so many demons in the loser side of the bracket.
Oh yeah. All right. Just some DOE neutral going on there at the start, but Hydra managing to take the first hit.
Yeah, and Hydra does get a lot of these conversions, but Lux right there hitting them with the raw. And that's the type of thing you have to be scared of if you're Hydra, right? Because Lux's deck is so high damage. You go into the Align, you go into the triple barrel, not quite there, but if you get the full output of damage, it's like 50 something.
Yeah, you might think that you have a lead, and then you make one mistake, and just boom, 50 damage combo, and your HP is just gone, your lead's gone, and then you gotta find your way back in, so... Oh, unfortunately not getting the rag off of that.
And you know what Lux is looking for? The whirl into anything, just shuffles it away, doesn't want to fish for Ragnarok too far, doesn't want to make this lead even better for Hydra, but Hydra is getting a lot of these straight line cards, and 11 health, 1 health remaining. Lux.
A good dodge there by Lux, but unfortunately getting caught by the Hue right after. Oh, I thought we were about to see another walk-in rag.
I think the raw Ragnarok really being looked for here, and oh, unfortunately not quite true for Lux. Really wanted that, and actually gets a hit of the seas to take the lead here.
Yeah, and then even reading the hit step there into the whirl, and then landing the Ragnarok next. So Lux with a fairly solid HP lead right here.
Wants to go for a blink starter here, but it will not connect. Instead, it's Hydra's damage, and that's 30 damage right off the bat. A quick shuffle.
Yeah, Hydra with the Una reverse card with the the counter the blink setup with the blink setup.
Getting a little ambitious there, trying to do Thunder into Ragnarok, and that means Lux is in full control here, but actually gets caught. And that means the lead is no longer there. 2 health is nothing. And it's going to be so dangerous here in the front row with both Chiretas wanting to use that Hue, Suture, whatever, I forget.
And there it is. Hydra with the Hue into the minigun right there, closing out that game. So if Lux wants to take this set, they're gonna... Oh, isn't it best of... Yeah, it's best of 5. You got some more games to play. Give me my elo.
Really wants to get that ranked 3-0 here.
Alright, so we're gonna need to see some adaptation by Lux if they want to hope to reverse 3-0 this set.
Yeah, I don't think Lux is necessarily playing bad. I think it's more that Lux, we saw this in last week's bracket. Lux was against another Chiretta, Gret, who played at a very rapid pace, very similar to Hydra. And Lux was actually kind of getting caught up in that rapid pace when her deck is more of that big combo style setup. You have to wait, be patient for your setup type thing. So I think if she slows down, she can just get the reverse sweep here.
Yeah, but we did see quite the explosive start right here, giving Lux a very large lead, but unfortunately not keeping it. And then getting it right back with that setup right there.
Yeah, I've heard a few complaints about that Chiretta Hue combo, as long as you walk up and have room to do so. And off of that, Lux taking a game here, and this is the Lux we know.
Yep, this is the Lux we know, big combos. The classic 3-tap you. Ooh, unfortunately, I believe Hydra hit stepping out of that downfall there, avoiding the Ragnarok.
Yep, and Hydra playing very well around the suture of Lux, really making sure that Lux can't get any free damage, especially off of the front row fishing, and Lux hasn't really been able to use Tetra at all, an important component of this deck, but we haven't seen it really come into play. Even there, just countered immediately.
Yeah, Lux will probably have to set up a line in order to actually be able to hit Tetra in this matchup, because Hydra is just aware and is not willing to stand in those positions.
That's 29 damage, and Lux is pulling ahead, needs one opening, but gets the whirl as well. That's 13 and some extra credit on top, and it's going to be hard for Hydra to catch up. Even with the conversions, Hydra's deck isn't nearly as high damage.
Yeah, Lux right here on a fresh hand, both players on a fresh hand, and honestly, both players having, well, more than enough damage to quickly close out the game with their current cards.
That's a scary seize if you're Hydra, but the offense is enough to stall it out, and suddenly this lead doesn't look nearly as scary, but there's the suture into Ragnarok for Lux. We're heading to a game 5.
And there we are, Lux with the potential reverse 3-0 right now, so we're at game 5, both players on their last legs. Let's see if Hydra will be able to put Lux in loser's bracket.
This is going to be very, very interesting. Both players playing so well, and Lux doesn't want to go to losers again early at the hands of another Chiretta. This is a very important match.
Yeah, you know, with the Coretta Ditto, you know, you kind of never know how they're gonna go. You know, you see someone with a fairly large lead, and then boom, you know, one big combo later, and the game's even again. But Lux right here, actually getting a very big lead right here, about 20 HP, just with the explosive start.
Really wants to fish for the blink here. Does get it, actually. The suture into Ragnarok is there, and Lux now with a massive lead. Hydra with a bit of a deck change, right? The kunai comes in.
Yeah, probably hoping to get Lux out of that back column and potentially land some more Q combos, W2 combos.
Oh, and the C's interrupted. This is bad for Lux. A little bit of panic here. The downfall doesn't get full value due to the cracked tile, and spending a lot of mana to run out of cards in the deck. Has to be careful. The mana catch was actually bait. Hydra reads it perfectly. 6 health remaining, and you gotta be so careful. But no Thunder comes out. Doesn't even matter.
And Hydra right there with the Hue. No, not the Hue. The Suture right there in the front, taking the last game. What a very close game, though. You know, Lux having the very large lead at the start. But once again, with Coretta Dittos, you never know how the match is going to end. When you see HP leads, Hydra quickly closing that gap and taking the game.
Well played by Hydra. The consistency was there, and yeah, even in the games that Lux won, right, Hydra was keeping up. Even in the game that Lux got a massive conversion, I think that just speaks to how consistently they powered the deck and how powerful that can be.
Oh yeah, you know, just like sometimes like high damage decks don't have, you know, as much consistency, but then, you know, the lower damage deck has that consistency that allows them to keep up with the higher damage one, because they're hitting their subs more and making up for that difference.
All right, but we're getting Residential versus the one and only TM King here, and the winner will be facing Perp. It'll be an interesting one.
So the question is, does Eden Dev really want to win?
I normally wouldn't agree, but in this case, it is a real question.
Like, if Eden Dev wins, is he really winning? Alright, there he is, our Lord and Savior, Eden Dev.
And I decided to go with the Harissa deck. This is an interesting one. If you check the deck sheet, it is Bouncing Blade, Kinetic Wave, Kunai Miniguns, definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, I think this is Sholmina's deck. But basically just renamed, I'm pretty sure. But I have seen some clips of Eden Dev playing this deck. I believe my trainee Sting also ran into Eden Dev in ranked. So yeah, beat me on ladder right there. So yeah, Dev has been playing this deck in ranked. So this won't be the first time I've seen it, but it will be the first time I've actually gotten to watch Eden Dev, you know, like fully play out a match. So I'm definitely very interested in this.
Yep. And with the OMG hit tweet banner, Eden Dev is here, and it's going to be interesting to see if Residential can take the victory, because this is a crazy matchup to have in tournament.
Yep, you were fighting the god of this game, the true god, who created everything. Now the question is Eden Dev gonna pull out the secret damage, the secret damage nullification tech that he didn't tell anyone about?
The ELO reset tech.
ELO reset tech, yeah.
But so far, Eden Dev is not getting hit by a lot of these setups. The movement is very clean, always making sure not to stay near that 4 tile away mark that makes Shopkeeper so scary, and also just dodging the Align every single time.
Yeah, Eden Dev just overall just having some amazing defense here, and then right as I say that, gets hit by Align Rag.
Yeah, sometimes it happens to the best of us, but now it's starting to happen a lot more to the best of us.
And boom, there it is. We got an even game right off the bat. You can never tell with this game, with this game, how long these leads are going to last. But it looks like Eden Dev is going to keep it just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Residential, though, not really getting hit by a lot of these bouncing blades, which is really important in this matchup, and keeping up in damage, of course. One hit could mean the game swings around here. Gotta watch out for that 4 tiles away, but the triple barrel is a little too vulnerable to use in neutral, and your health is ticking down, but the scaled guillotine into Ragnarok. Residential.
Yep, just like that. Guillotine into Ragnarok and the game is over, you know, at 30 HP, you know, when you're fighting SK, you think, oh, I'm not at lethal, but you're actually at lethal, you know? It's kind of the same case. Some characters, you just have to play at certain HP thresholds like you're about to die.
Right, and it's now starting to turn into a bit of a minefield here. Some scary cards in hand for Residential. It's going to take a lot of movement to get around this, and the SD turret is proving to also be quite an obstacle for Edendev. Occupying that front row means the offense is a lot harder.
Yeah, and Edendev playing mostly kind of a lot of straight line projectiles, meaning that if Rifle does decide to sit behind that SD turret, then Dev is going to have a really hard time landing some hits.
Oh, and blinking away, not getting hit into the mine there. Oh, blinking back right into the tax return.
Alright, unfortunately, Residential there missing that guillotine, but they are still fishing for that bow snipe. Oh, and unfortunately getting counter hit out of it.
Uh-oh, this SD turret proving to be a bit of a menace for these straight lines. The kunai in hand, but again, Residential's deck seems pretty prepared for this matchup here.
Yeah, once again, Dev's just playing excellent defense, you know. I don't think Dev's been hit in like the past 20 seconds, and then, you know, I should just stop talking.
Yeah, the cursed turnaround was like Amazon Prime delivery on that one.
It's like immediately as I say that, Dev's not getting hit. Dev gets hit and dies, you know? Like, maybe I should just stop talking when Dev is low HP, you know?
Yeah, well, now it's getting a little bit scary for Dev, down 2-0, and Residential looking pretty confident now, hitting a lot more of these setups.
Alright, and Dev, I think messing that up a little bit, unfortunately not going for the kunai into Vino shot.
That's the Paragon, right? The 4-way shopkeeper pattern card. It's been doing a lot of work for Dev, but Residential's damage output is just so high so far.
Yeah, Paragon is surprisingly hard to avoid, you know? You think, oh, it just hits four tiles randomly, but it hits you always, you know? Whatever, you're always on one of those 4 tiles, it seems. Ooh, and Dev just mixing him up with the teleport.
Yeah, using the bouncing blade to full effect, and also a lot of these cards again, the Paragon coming in, and this front row, so scary for Residential to step in, because Dev just controls the entire front row.
Yeah, Harissa overall just a very difficult character to deal with up front due to that primer weapon. And Dev looking to close out the game right here. Just 1 HP left on Rifle, and does it with the teleport shot.
Hitting some great shots. Some very solid defense coming out. This is going to be an interesting 4th game here, as Residential trying to close it out, but there's been a lot of counter hits.
Ooh, and just Residential just having a very successful first cycle right there, getting a lot of those hits off and putting Dev at pretty much half HP right off the bat, but Dev answering right back with that little combo right there.
Dancing away from the guillotine, not trying to eat any more damage. And this kinetic wave is a little bit scary. That triple barrel in hand, the Ragnarok in hand, but it doesn't quite connect, as Residential still fishing.
And there we got Dev landing the classic Harissa bread and butter combo, auto slash into primer into K-wave. Oh, counter hitting that bow snipe there.
Yeah, the counter hits again and again from Dev have been on point and continuing to rule this front row here. Has to be careful again for the kinetic wave, but will probably not get hit here. Standing back and making sure the kinetic wave isn't... Oh, wait a second. The K-wave connects, and suddenly that lead has vanished.
Yep, just like that, you know, one bad mistake and then boom, Ragnarok, you know? Very easy to lose a lead when you're fighting such a high damage output deck like this one.
Okay, just evades away from the Align there. The Dimension... Oh, so much damage, but the guillotine will pull you back all the way. Don't call it a comeback, because Residential will take the third game.
And that means that Eden Dev, unfortunately, will be moving to loser's bracket, and we will see Guillotine nerfed tomorrow morning in the patch notes.
Shopkeeper W2 recovery will be increased.
W2 recovery increased. Guillotine recovery increased 5 frames. Guillotine damage decreased.
You know, I heard people talking about a guillotine rework.
Oh, what, the execute at 18 HP? I think I saw that. The straight up execute at 18.
Well, we're heading into another interesting match here. Papa Gurgle versus Kinger.
Okay, so we got Hazel probably versus or maybe by the looks of it, I think Papa Gurgle was playing Saffron in his last set, so we'll be seeing Saffron versus Selkie, unless he does decide to whip out the Hazel.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game here. I have not seen Papa Gurgle play in a hot minute. I'll be honest.
I think the last time I saw Papa Gurgle play, I think it was me actually playing him. So
whoa.
I have fought the Saffron deck though, so I do know what's going on with that. I believe it's like pull front or something with the pull shotgun shenanigans. And I fought Kinger today. Fortunately, we didn't get to finish our match, our set in ranked because it lagged out. So probably won't be able to play Kinger too much. But typically, just playing the standard Selkie invade melee type thing.
Yeah, and we'll have to see Papa Gurgle repping the wash tag on Start GG, but confidently dispatching 8th in his previous set. So I'm not sure how washed he really is. It's gonna be a bit scary for Kinger here, but Kinger doing quite well in this bracket so far. 3-0 over Monarch and 3-1 over Justin, who took it 3-2 over Deathgun. So also notably, Deathgun, I believe, one of the training arc trainees, so big win for Justin.
Oh, Deathgun is a training arc trainee? Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's the one who wrote like the really funny application.
Oh. Alright, so yeah, pretty much both players playing. I've seen both of these decks before. I fought that one earlier, Slice and Dice. I got to fight that a little bit earlier in ranked. Basically, you know, just basically some invade melee combined with a bit of frost in there.
Well, apparently Kinger has taken a game off of Papa Gurgle in ranked. So with that information, I think it's winnable.
Yeah, although Kinger not really too confident right now, but you know, it is possible. Sometimes you just gotta believe.
We head in, like you said, the Pulfron deck is coming out. You're gonna see the pulls into push slashes, into whirls, into whatever here. So it's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah, Papa Gurgle with the literally shaking title.
Kinger just better, and will have to be just better to get past this obstacle for the winner's top 8 qualifier. But so far, Kinger playing very proactively against Papa Gurgle. Those interrupts are good, but Papa Gurgle is always on point with the sparkler chains.
Yep, and King are managing to get that Frost proc right there. It's going to scale up that Crystal Rifle. That's probably going to be their end game goal is to get that Crystal Rifle as large and as big as possible so they can just overall just outpace Papa Gurgle in the late game.
Yep, and those scissors, a card that's so useful in the front row, but Papa Gurgle just interrupting it, staying back, and not getting hit by the additional Frost stacks either. Kinger's game plan is going to take a little bit too long to scale up, it feels like, and ooh, a nasty bit of lag, but Papa Gurgle still getting so much damage in.
Yeah, it looks like we just got a bit more of a lag dance right here. We got the
ooh, the connection.
Lag shuffle.
Oh man. The network connection is... Oh, are we back? I don't think we're back.
Oh. Maybe. I think we're back. Okay.
We're not back.
We're not back.
False alarm. We are absolutely not back. So I was looking forward to this game, but unfortunately it is not looking like this will be a fully played set if that network connection continues, but maybe we're back for real this time.
Alright, I think we're back for real, and Papa Gurgle, unfortunately not being able to close out the game there, but dodging the shear that could have easily ended this. And there we go, the pull into the push slash, taking the first game.
Right, and without fear, they head into the next game. Lag will not stop them.
Alright, we got Papa Gurgle trying to punish that Mono Catch, unfortunately missing.
I really like the inclusion of Shotgun. I think that's a card that's been played around by a lot of players, and hitting for a sweet spot, 14 damage. It's quite the big card in the front row.
Yeah, Shotgun too, you know, sometimes it hits you when you don't expect it, because, you know, you think you're not in the front column, and then, you know, you think you're safe, but then it actually still hits you in the second one, and it even hits you more there. So, the area it covers is a bit misleading.
Oh, and Papa Gurgle with the tracking there, getting a lot of extra damage in, not trying to get the third Frost stack added on, as Kinger is fishing for this Frost Slash, but it won't connect, and this lead is pretty monumental for Papa Gurgle. One pull could lead to so much damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Selkie not really a character like Coretta that can just eliminate leads like that, so Kinger will definitely have to play some excellent defense here in order to close this gap.
Getting a lot of conversions here is Papa Gurgle, but finally getting the Frost stacks is Kinger, getting a little bit of damage, a little bit of scaling, but the health is dwindling even as the Frost stacks tick up. It is Papa Gurgle who just maintains composure and just gets the damage for the game.
Yeah, I think if Kinger wants to take this, they'll have to just try and avoid these small starters, you know, because Saffron is getting these combos off. Saffron will easily out DPS Selkie.
It's going to be a little bit difficult. But so far, Kinger not doing too badly. Has to be really careful, though. That shotgun in hand looking scary, dodged away from. And now Kinger can do a little bit of the scaling game plan. No, just even more damage by Papa Gurgle.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kinger just not really getting that many opportunities to actually scale up that rifle, so it's pretty much just sitting at low values the entire game as Papa Gurgle just goes connection after connection, just poking Kinger's HP away.
Kinger now looking for a pull, looking for the scissors, but Papa Gurgle just dodges away from all of it. This lead is massive, 91-0 Papa Gurgle. Washed or not, he is still here.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle very clearly not washed. Being a massive threat with these Saffron combos, especially with that shotgun. You know, Kinger just having overall a very hard time just getting those Frost procs off and scaling up that damage that he needs in order to contest the output of Papa Gurgle's deck. Yep.
Valiant effort by Kinger, though. A tough matchup to have in your top 8 qualifier, and Kinger will have another chance on the loser's side to qualify for top 8. So that'll be interesting to see if they can do it.
Alright, so let's look at the bracket right now. We have Aneurysms taking that set over Tenebrae. That's interesting. Okay. And we're going to have Random Hydra taking the set over Fiddle 3-0. And we're looking at Perp Res next. Yep.
Perp and Rez. Two very similar decks, and this is going to be an explosive game.
Alright, so it does look like Residential is going to be sticking with the Ditto. I do know that I believe the last time these two fought in tournament, Residential actually wasn't initially playing Shopkeeper in that set and was trying some different characters, but it does look like Residential wants to beat Perp. Beat Perp at her own game.
As we load in, this is going to be a very different game than the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah, we should start counting to see how long it takes for one of them to hit half HP.
I mean, Residential just outskilled right there. Deciding to hit with Guillotine second just means it scales.
It's like, yeah, Residential actually getting hit on purpose there to purposely land a higher damage Guillotine. And, oh my goodness, hitting the K-Wave into Rag in 20 seconds, and we are at the half HP mark.
But you can also say that Purpose getting Guillotine, but unfortunately we can't as it doesn't land. Residential now looking to try and get maybe an inverter here. Not an inverter, the fadeaway. But Perp now playing a lot slower.
You see, Shopkeepers are actually playing a mind game where they purposely stay lower HP than their opponent to land a higher damage Guillotine. Oh! Unfortunately, I think the Rag would have been more damage there, but Perp opting for the mine.
Oh, and gets shield broken.
Shield broken, but nothing to properly punish with.
And this is a really good spot for Perp. The kill could come in here. Not quite, but getting dangerously close.
Yeah, but Rifle also just able to quickly close out the game with any hit. You know, basically, the next W2 confirm is just going to end this game, right? Oh, and there it is.
Rez taking the first game in this top 8 qualifier and looking quite good while doing so.
Yeah, you know, this could end up being Rez's set. You know, we might see a new Shopkeeper, a Shopkeeper star on the rise.
Wants to place a little bit higher, but is getting interrupted here, and we'll have to be a lot more careful as Perp is looking for a kinetic wave. Does get the catch, but isn't quite as fast on the follow-up there.
Alright, so we got Rez here probably fishing for that Align Rag, but... And there it is, landing the Align Rag. You know, maybe I do have, like, magic words or something.
Yeah, right as you said that, the Haxor turn into Kinetic Wave came in clutch for Rez, but that's 15 damage. Perp shooting right back here, and with a new hand, this could be really dangerous for that 44 health bar.
Ooh, and the mine into the Rag. Ouch, that's about, what, 35 damage just right off the bat. And now Rifle is Residential is at that HP where they have to be worried the next hit may just end the game. Yeah. And there it is, the W2 closing out the set. Not the set, the match.
Yep, and this set's now a best of 3. Trading the first 2 games are both these players, and it's getting a lot more hectic. But another good step from Perv. Make sure that she's not pushed to the back row. Yeah,
Perp unfortunately fishing for that Align right there, but not getting it all. Oh, and almost getting hit by that fadeaway, but just narrowly avoiding it.
And one in very similar hands here. The Connect Wave fish for the bow snipe. A little bit too far away in terms of position. And now the game's slowing down quite a bit, trying to find these openings as both players are stepping away from that 4 away. But, oh, Rez, that was a dangerous spot to be in. Almost gets caught in a triple barrel Rag.
Alright, we have Residential right there, unfortunately missing that Align Rag, and now Prep is looking to get those pokes off. Both players missing the bow snipe, and probably going to see a shuffle right here. So we got both players on fresh hands. And with this character, you know, you never know how long the match is going to last, because one fresh hand has more than enough damage to just take the game.
Yeah, some of the highest damage per hand here, just like that. Rez with an immediate shuffle, but it won't matter. We'll never get to reach it as Perp goes up 2-1.
Yeah, Perp catching Residential up there in that top row, hitting that K-Wave and closing the game out. And immediately after, just hitting another rag right at the start.
Going for something with this Align here, but it is actually Rez, but a good dodge just erases the mine, removes that damage potential. This bow snipe attempted, and actually will connect.
Ooh, Perp successfully avoiding that guillotine right there, you know? With that small HP lead, it's a very dangerous card to be fighting against.
Hitting the Raw Thunder though. Yeah, the small lead might be a detriment here as Guillotine is coming up in Rez's hand shortly.
Ooh, and Purple just, once again, just sniping that Align Ragnarok. And now we're probably going to be looking for, yep, unfortunately not getting the W2 into mine, but Perp still has some opportunities for very big amounts of damage. We still have the K-Wave, but getting hit by the Rag.
Oh.
And close to out.
Well played to Perp, taking this almost mirror match, and there's a reason there's a video called Perp ASMR something something.
Oh my gosh, does that actually exist? I need to watch that.
Getting hit by Old Triangle ASMR, I think. No
Old
Old Triangle
Triangle.
this time, but still the same effect.
Old Triangle Exodia ASMR.
And with that, it looks like our top 8 winner side is decided. We won't head into top 8 right now though, because there's still the loser side to watch.
But yeah, on the winner's side, looks like we're gonna have Purple, Hydra, we're gonna have Papa Gurgle, and we're gonna have Aneurysms. And it looks like Aneurysms has had quite the roller coaster in their past 3 sets with 3 3-2s. You know, like that's gotta be pretty stressful having every set you play go to Game 5.
And actually beating Sargly in the last one of those Game 5 sets. Sargly actually the champion of the previous Sunday Shuffle, so that's a huge win heading into top 8.
Yeah, I just do want to announce that Eden Dev is still in the tournament. We might still see Eden Dev later on, but fortunately, I will not be rooting for Eden Dev because Eden Dev is fighting my trainee, so I'm going to hope my trainee.
Yeah, Eden Dev's still surviving somehow, some way.
All right, but we do have 2 trainees fighting right now, and losers bracket with Lux versus a Lethian Striker. So it'll be interesting to see the outcome of that.
Definitely will be, but first we're heading to Residential versus 8th. We're seeing a lot of Residential today.
Alright, looks like 8th is apparently going insane, according to their deck title. But it looks like we have a little bit of Frost, a little bit of Poison, you know, probably trying to build up the additional damage, or not, additional Poison with Acid Rain by having Snow Cone in there. We got some Hyper Beam, we got Eruption, which is interesting to see how 8th will use that. And we got Blink, so honestly, quite a diverse strategy. And then we have Hollow Purple. Oh, that is such an awesome name. And then we have Residential with the same typical Shopkeeper deck. There's lore to this deck apparently. Okay, good to know. Alright, and now we should go in.
Oh, I swapped the name tags. They're swapped back now. 8th on the left, Residential on the right, and this is an interesting matchup too, right? Celsey versus Shopkeeper. If Celsey spends a lot of time on the far side of the field, then it's a little bit more tricky to land these setups.
Yeah, you know, because definitely Shopkeeper unfortunately does not really have any weapons that hit in front of her, so with Selkie just being able to constantly invade Shopkeeper's field, it can be kind of hard to actually attack Selkie while Selkie's attacking you.
And 8th playing it pretty calmly so far, but This SD turret actually is proving to be quite the obstacle against 8's particular variant, but still gets a big combo for 22.
Yeah, that blink into Hyper Beam was just amazing right there. And it looks like we're probably going to see 8 trying to get some more Frost procs. Ooh, just narrowly avoiding that guillotine with the blink. Excellent play there by 8.
But gets immediately interrupted and now has to be a little bit careful. And that's an interesting card to put, taking your own back row out.
Yeah, actually, taking your own back row out to avoid getting teleported there.
Very interesting piece for this matchup as 8th now trying to be confident in the front row, but you gotta watch out for that kinetic wave and Hyper Beam not quite connecting.
Yeah, unfortunately, 8th getting out of that K-wave, so avoiding the potential guillotine setup there that could have been lethal. But now we have both players, Residential kind of just looking to poke with that fadeaway, but not hitting it. So we're gonna see a fresh hand and 8th shuffling early.
Residential not being able to land a lot of these setups so far, but will hit the guillotine, and that's big to try and equalize this game. Dancing away, not getting hit by the poison, but, well, that's a 3-wide card. 8th will take it.
Yeah, that Frost proc just adding on that damage that 8th needs to close out that game. And now we're gonna go right back into it. We got both players. Shopkeeper always just a very kind of scary character to be fighting at the start of the game, because, you know, just one mistake like that and you could take a ton of damage.
It's going to be a little difficult at 8th. Going for a lot of these raw Hyper Beams. We saw that in the first Sunday Shuffle, not so much in the second, and we'll see if it's effective if many of those are landed. But so far, it just means that Rez has the lead.
Yeah, and 8th getting that little poke right there with the Frost Slash and avoiding that guillotine just by one tile. Very, very scary.
Getting hit by one hit of Triple Barrel, but 8 still has a way back in this game, pushing away, trying to get these Frost procs and taking down the poison as well. And the lead has been completely equalized.
Yeah, 8th managing to catch up, and just as I say that, proceeds to not catch up. Once again, I have magic words, it seems, but 8th will need to avoid, and avoids the raw Ragnarok. Okay.
Right, and now Rez trying to close it out, trying to hit a Ragnarok. There it is, 3 damage. Mark dodged away from, but with 2 health remaining, it's going to be so dangerous, but that's a lot of healing back.
Yeah, pretty much any hit from Shopkeeper now is going to close out this game, so 8th is just going to have to play some excellent defense here in order to potentially make a comeback.
And again, breaking the back row to not get warped there by a line. This card really paying off.
Yeah, honestly, do you think that is why 8th decided to to pick Eruption and unfortunately getting teleported into that mine? But I think 8th may have actually put that card in the deck to not get aligned into the back column. That may have been an interesting counter pick.
Yeah, there's also the side effect of targeting the front row, right, for the poison denial. But I think that could have definitely been an active decision there. But again, Rez taking an early lead here, not having enough mana for the follow-up there, though.
Yeah, getting popped by that Rag at the start, just giving Residential a pretty decent lead, and then hitting the Triple Barrel as well, and now 8th is going to have to watch out for this guillotine. Ooh, and there it is, you can't block it.
That's a lot of damage as Rez is trying to close out this game, trying to find a victory here. Doesn't want to go to a potential game 5.
And, you know, sometimes just trying to take back the lead against Shopkeeper can be a very taxing experience, because, you know, after you start to close the gap just like that, you can just it can easily be widened again with just one poke.
Here's the bow snipe.
And there it is.
Rez sitting here with a 2-1 lead against 8th. Wants to close it out, but so far 8th has been keeping up quite well, unless they get hit by a lot of stuff early.
Yeah, but it looks like that won't happen. 8th doing a pretty good job of not getting caught by anything major right at the start. And the trap actually killing the setup there, you know. I believe the K-Wave did land. but unfortunately, 8th was pushed back to the front by the trap.
And again, to the front row, a big spot of contest for 8th, but not really playing as much in the front row now, sitting in the back row almost exclusively. And that means Rez is going to go for a lot of these snipes.
Alright, so we do have Rez here at 2 Frost, so you know the next Frost attack 2 hit will proc it. And potentially catching, what was that, K-Wave?
Yeah, that was tax return into K-Wave. Rez was fishing for that like 5 different times, and now 8th's in a very sticky situation. Goes for the Hyper Beam, but there's a mine there. Tragic end. GG's.
Alright, Yedev, you saw that? Buff Hyper Beam, please. Please. I like that card, but that's why I don't play it. Unfortunately, the suicide there with the Hyper Beam into the mine. A very sad way to go.
But still, well played to 8th. Getting 9th place in a tournament like this with alphas allowed. Nothing to scoff at, especially after going on a bit of a loser's run.
Alright, so just taking a quick look at this bracket right here. Looks like we have Tenebrae still in. We have Lux winning that set against Lethian Striker 3-0, okay. And then we also have right now Sting 2-1 in a set against the Dev. So interesting to see how that will turn out.
And it looks like 8th did hate Ragnarok so much that they put Eruption in.
Yeah, that is interesting. It did work to some extent. You know, stopping a couple of potentially Eruption combos.
But we have a rematch from Grand Finals of last week, but this time in Losers Top 12. Sargly versus Lux, loser getting 9th, and winner having a chance to repeat a top 2 placement.
Yep, and the winner of this set will be moving into top 8 on loser's side, I believe. So this is definitely an interesting way to meet again. You know, grand finals of a previous tournament, and now they're fighting to see who will make it into top 8, and the loser will be dropped out of the tournament.
Sargly repping the winning title of this tournament right there, and Lux was so close last week, but Sargly was just a little bit better. We'll see if anything changes this time, because Lux actually did win the first set of Grands quite decisively.
Yeah, so let's see if Lux can repeat that success right here and take out Sargly. Or will we see Sargly be able to maintain that maintain that victory?
Yeah, and last week, Sargly having a lot of creative cards in this deck, right? Including some we're seeing right now here, to great effect for that combo.
Yeah, getting that auto slash Warlock, and now just looking for some poke with Shotgun and Frostlight.
And so far, Lux is kind of getting caught up into the pace of Sargly, not able to get any big combos. Needs to slow the game down because Sargly will continue to look for these 1 and 2 pieces.
Oh, and right, just as we say that, Lux landing that hit that she needs in order to even out the game. And now we have Sargly just in a little of a dangerous position here. You know, Lux with Rag in hand could easily put Sargly and critical HP just like that.
Sargly trying to regen, getting a little bit back, but it's so dangerous. Does get a lot of damage down though, but that backstab into, oh my, what a conversion by Lux.
Yeah, that backstab into that Hugh, closing out the game. So we have Lux taking the first game, and let's see if she'll be able to repeat that and get revenge for losing that last tournament to Sargly.
Gonna be a close one here as Sargly once again taking an early lead, but needs to keep it, needs to keep the pace up, needs to prevent Lux from getting these setups because that Ragnarok's coming out.
Yeah, you know, like I said, you know, when you're fighting these higher damage decks, you know, you take an early lead and then it's just gone like that. You know, you have to maintain your defense all the way through. And just like that, we're going to get the backstab, we're going to get the world. And 42 damage.
That's the power
in the
of
rag.
Lux. That's the power of Lux. You blink and your health bar vanishes. Lux 2-0 up in this series.
You know, Lux a real magician right here, just making your HP bar vanish right before your eyes in just mere seconds. And now we're gonna in the barrel into the Ragnarok, and just like that, once I said Lux the magician, there goes Sargely's HP just gone.
That's the price you pay when you get hit by a starter with the perfect hand. 14 damage back. It's the start of a comeback, and suddenly the game's even.
Yep, just like that, we have an even game, but you know, it can also... Oh my goodness, just as we start talking, the game just... I feel like as soon as I say something, the game is just no longer even anymore.
And now it's even again, just when you point out that it's not even anymore, but Sargely's got to be really careful. 1W2 is the start of so much, but that's the start of a lot for Sargely. What a conversion!
What an absolutely insane combo there with the confirm into the K-Wave and then the World Drag on the way back, with just enough damage for Sargely to take that game.
Those combos are kind of crazy, as Sargely's landing them so consistently too, so often, with some of the weirder cards that we don't usually see in these LC decks.
Alright, so Lux is fishing here for that Ragnarok set up right there and taking the lead, but it's gone just like that. Both players just going back and forth, you know, trading hits.
Yeah, and that Frost Barrage doing so much work for Sargely when off angle against the Align interrupts it, but wait a second, there's more Lux damage.
Yeah, Lux just landing a lot of W2s that she needs in order to get those big combos off. And we're gonna see another one right there, just as I say that.
Oh, wait a second though, Sargely bringing it all the way back, needs one opening to try and turn the tables, has to dodge around all these W2s, gets the counter hit, 2 health remaining on Lux, the Frost Barrage attempted, but no, interrupted. Lux will take it.
Lux, just, you know, both players just having the spells that they need to close out that game, but Lux getting the hit first, dragging Sargely into that whirl and taking the set. Lux getting that revenge for losing that tournament last week. So we will see Lux moving into top 8.
It does appear Eden Death has finally fallen against Sting, and Sting and Kinger will be the final losers top 8 qualifier.
Alright, let's go Sting.
No, you're
Sorry,
happy about that one.
I have to hype up all my trainees, okay? You know?
Yeah, but wow. Like, Sargely, especially in a matchup like this, like, never ceases to amaze with these conversions with the neutral. But Lux, in the end, the high damage combo was enough.
Yeah, Lux managing to land overall just, you know, a lot of W2s into just high damage conversions that sees really just shutting down Sargely's movement and making it much harder for him to avoid those setups. And then, you know, one of those setups, you know, will just kill your lead immediately. You know, every time that Sargely was hit by one of those sutures, just triple barrel, you know, right after Rag, backstab whirl, you know, and just like that, you take in like 30-40 damage.
Yeah, it boils a lot of the game down to how many neutral openings you need to win the game, and the answer for Lux is not that many.
But this will be interesting. So this is a second to last set. There's 2 sets going on, I think, that are left, and before we're in top 8.
Yep, but Fiddle and Tenebrae might have concluded. They're reporting games right now.
Let's see. It will be interesting. How many trainees do we have moving on to top 8 right now? We have let's see. We have Residential moving on, so that's 1. We have Lux moving on, so that's 2. And then if Tenebrae takes that set, that might be 3. And if Sting takes this set, might be 4. And were there any other trainees moving on? Sides and losers bracket. I don't think any of the winner side is trainees, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Kinger versus Sting.
So tell me more about Sting, your trainee. What do we have to look out for here?
Yeah, so Sting is pretty much trained on the decks I play, Sting does like to play Bomb a bit more than I do. I don't really have any competitive decks where I play Bomb, but Sting does main deck Bomb pretty much a lot of the time. So I have been training Sting. They have been improving rapidly. But funnily enough, this is actually a player matchup that they've had trouble with in the past. So this is not the first time these two have fought.
And Queen, not a character we have seen since like Donkey Konga in the very first Sunday Shuffle in these tournaments, and overall just a much less common choice. What do you think drove him to pick the character?
Actually, what drove Sting to pick this character? Sting used to actually play chess quite a bit. Sting is a fairly high-ranked chess player, so having that muscle memory of chess piece positions probably just attracted him to this character.
And so far, keeping it very, very even with Kinger and interrupting the scissors as well. Sting looking very confident in this first game.
Yeah, both players kind of just trading, and then Sting taking the lead right there with that bomb setup with the minigun.
Yeah, Sting playing really confidently with the bomb, and I think that's gonna be a big factor, especially if the bomb gets set up like that, almost catching Kinger off guard.
Alright, so we have the bomb set up in the back column, so Kinger's going to have to watch out for that back there. And now we're just gonna have Kinger right here trying to just catch up right here. We have about a 20 HP lead, but that's honestly not that much in this game. But with the bomb in your back column, just one more conversion.
Yeah, has a chance to do an interesting setup here, but doesn't quite push Kinger back there fast enough. And now is be careful, but that's Kinger at 1 HP, taken out by the weapon.
Yep, there it is, the execute covering the entire front column, allowing Queen to honestly just easily kill any 1 HP opponent that immediately decides to sit in the front.
Right, and we're going into the next game. Are we going to see any changes in terms of deck from Kinger?
Yeah, it looks like we might see a deck switch here, or not. Did they change any cards?
I don't think so. I'll check right now, but they only have one deck.
Okay, I don't know, maybe they're just taking a breather.
Okay. But yeah, Sting with the bombs, really confident in the setups, and it's making it very hard for Kinger to position because Sting's just setting the bombs up in the back column and using backstab to quickly maneuver them forward.
Yeah, unfortunately for Selkie, her weapons don't actually allow her to remove bombs that are back there, so Kinger's gonna have to sacrifice probably like a breakout or something in order to actually remove those bombs. But, you know, even then, breakout, when you do damage the bombs with it, you're still in the explosion radius. So, it's not the most optimal choice.
Yeah, and Kinger having one deck, it's a tough matchup, but that's the fate you resign yourself to when you enter a tournament where you can bring 3 decks with only one. And it's going to be interesting. Oh, getting caught by the bomb explosion just barely, and that's huge for Sting's lead here.
Yeah, with the prime bomb back there, you know, sometimes you can just get caught back the second you step into that radius. And just easy 12 right there.
Oh, and the lag has returned, but oh, never mind. It's gone just as quickly as it arrived. Not as cursed as the game with Papa Gurgle and Kinger. And Kinger now getting a lot of frost stacks.
Yeah, it looks like we just had a little hiccup there with the lag, but it looks like it's not going to stay, so that is great. Ooh, and just narrowly avoiding that bomb setup.
Yeah, really well played from Kinger. The right time to press on offense. That also helped out on the defense, but getting caught out by the Knight, and that means that's so dangerous. Another execute comes in, 2 in a row for Sting.
Yeah, execute being a little bit too accurate with the name here, literally executing Stinger. Not Stinger, Kinger, 2 games in a row.
Right, exiting the main menu, but it looks like no changes have occurred. We're heading into game 3, and it's looking very decisive for Sting.
Yeah, like I said, Sting has had a trouble with this specific character matchup in the past. Sting has actually taken a set off of Garden even, but has told me that they have trouble against Kinger. So Sting overall just making great adaptations in order to overcome this player matchup.
Another bomb in the back row. You got to be really careful here if you're a Kinger, as these are going to start to stack up, especially with the backstab, able to trigger them very, very quickly. But avoiding the big damage this time, and Kinger with the first lead in a while.
Yeah, Kinger with just a fairly solid lead here, you know, just landing all the right pokes, just not really getting any major combos, but just overall just chipping Sting's HP away, finding any hits that he can. Ooh, and that's dangerous, the bomb setup.
Yeah, big damage. And a shield break. Wait a second. Kinger, big damage here with the Frost Slash as well. 31. That reverses the lead entirely. And with the Scissors as well to interrupt, as well as deal a lot more damage.
Yeah, Sting getting a little poke there with the poison setup, forcing Kinger to move into the front and then landing that break shot. And then boom, the bomb backstab combo. Poking, once again, chipping Kinger. Just a very menacing card to have back there.
Kinger, though, slowly building up this massive lead, and again, no evade from Sting means that Kinger will take a game.
Yeah, Frost Barrage just managing to barely close that game out right there. All right, and here we go. We are into game 4, I believe, right?
Yep, game 4, 2-1, Sting in the lead, but Kinger showing that they can be the ones to win this one.
Yeah, so will Kinger be able to reverse this set?
Definitely a question that we have to ask, but getting rooted here, and I don't know, because I think a lot of it also depends on how patient Sting is with the bomb setups. When we see Sting getting a little bit more impatient, when the bombs are just blown up like one bomb and Kinger is on the other side of the field, I think that's where Kinger gets a lot more time to play with.
Yeah, a lot of Sting's damage does come from those bombs, so it's Sting does want to get those bomb explosions off, so detonating them a little bit too early will just allow Kinger to quickly close the lead.
Right, Sting now looking for some kind of offense here as the poison ticks down. Kinger will just eat the damage, doesn't want to risk going into the front row to eat a combo as the bombs blow up, but Kinger, again, very proactive in getting out of there.
Yes, Kinger just picking offense as his defensive option and immediately using a W1 to escape the bomb setup.
More damage on the Sting. These Frost procs are really stacking up. That's a 12 damage beam right there that can be used by Kinger. Will be thrown out raw, or will they go for another Frost stack? Getting the Scissors, getting the beam. 12 health left.
Yes, we do have a very close game right here. Or we did. And then, ooh, Kinger closing it out right there with that conversion. Just a small combo and then immediately following up with that auto slash breakout and successfully taking this set to game 5. So we will need to see some adaptation from Sting if he wants to take this.
We will. It's a close set, 2-2, and Kinger's been very, very evasive as this set has progressed. Just using those steps to get out of the bomb radius as fast as possible after the pressure from Sting. And I think Sting needs to adapt back, needs to make sure those combos are tighter, needs to make sure those bomb setups catch Kinger instead of Kinger being able to use that Celsi weapon to get out of it.
Yeah, maybe exercising just some patience right there with after getting the bomb back there and kind of waiting out the W1 might go a long way for this. But Sting does manage to take a small lead here at the start.
Ooh, and now it's getting a little scary. That 2 health bomb, a bit of a threat if Sting can get something down and cover so much space.
Yep, and now we have the double bomb right there, the double bomb setup in the back, which just, once again, just takes up so much space, and one mistake back there can easily lead to 24 damage explosion.
Oh, but Sting, a bit of a missed opportunity there. He gets caught while trying to set up onto Kinger, and that means that Kinger's the one with the lead, but not for long. A good backstab at the end means a little bit of extra damage, and Kinger firing right back.
Yeah, we still have a very even game here. Kinger just looking to land that last card, unfortunately not getting it. And now we have both players pretty much even game, fresh hand.
Kinger's got to be a little bit careful in this front row, staying with the good shield to not take too much damage, and a shield break, but nothing in the hand for Kinger. Another attempt from Sting to try and do a bomb setup, but the health is dwindling away. Kinger looks to be in control, but gets rooted here. An opportunity for Sting, not quite, as one touch might do it for both sides, but suddenly the lead reverses. 6 health left on Kinger, needs to commit, needs to get the shuffle out.
In your last legs, Kinger getting that frost explosion and managing to take this game and close out the set right there with that last invade.
What a close set. Came down to the final hit, and Kinger's auto slash at the right time closed it out. I mean, just a great match for the final one as we head into top 8.
Yeah, we had a very close set right here. And now that will be the final set, I believe, that we have to wait on for top 8. So it looks like our top 8 finalists are going to be Purple, Hydra, we have Papa Gurgle, we have Aneurysms, Tenebrae, Residential, Lux, and Kinger.
Yep, and every single top 8 set will be on stream, so if you're in top 8, don't go anywhere. So, and we're gonna get started right away with the winner side. We're gonna see Perp versus Hydra, and then Papa Gurgle versus Aneurysms.
Alright, so they're going, they're coming right now?
Yeah, something like that. I know you were talking about, what was it again? Cheese dip or something?
Oh, my chips.
Yeah, your chips. Now's the time.
Alright, I'll be back then. I'm gonna go grab my chips and I'm gonna heat up the cheese dip.
Oh yeah, see you in a bit.
How long's the intermission?
I have no clue.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just come back when I got my stuff.
Yep. So everyone, how's the tournament been so far? I'm just slowly setting up top 8. We're heading right into it. Wait, Zip? Is it Zip? You can join. You can join the VC. Don't you have access to the VC? Yes, you do. Hello. Okay. Your mic.
I am.
Oh, your mic's so much better now. Hello?
Alright, I think this is working just fine.
Okay, yes, I can.
I have historically had problems with my mic just not working, so hopefully it holds out. Pray to God.
Alright, Zip. How's it been going today for you?
I've been watching the bracket, and I've been seeing a lot of strong contenders come out. I am... Actually, hold on, let me pull up the bracket on my end. Lux's matches, specifically Lux's and Kinger versus... Yeah, Lux and Kinger's matches in particular have been gripping me. No, Sting versus Kinger, that Queen versus Celesty matchup that I haven't seen until now, actually. Really, yeah, it's really interesting, those bomb setups. I'm kind of trying to replicate them in my own play, but yeah.
All right, thank you for your input. I will now call the next guest because Garden is telling me to let him in.
All right.
Yeah. Wait, how do I get Garden in here again? This Discord has so many roles that I forgot which one was the right one. Oh, I found it. There we go, Garden. You should be able to see it now. Before Windfall comes back. Quickly. Hi, Garden.
My gosh. I feel so special.
Okay, well, goodbye, Garden. I think Windfall's back.
Alright. Good luck to everyone playing. Shortest the shortest feature of all time.
Well, I don't actually know if Windfall's back at all. But it's okay. It's time to start winter semis. I did lie to you, Garden. I lie all the time. Perp versus Hydra. This is going to be an interesting match. Perp, of course, the menace of Duelists, some might say. And Hydra, just off that big win against Lux and also winning against Fiddle in the winner's top 8 qualifier. So Hydra, I think, pretty confident coming into this one. But we'll have to have a few more tricks up their sleeve against Perp because her defense will be on point. Oh, but that's 27 damage right back, and Hydra's health is dwindling now. Has to dodge away from these shopkeeper setups, but not getting hit, not getting caught by that W2. Guillotine comes in though, and Perp has a massive lead. And maybe these two decks are a bit incompatible with each other because right now Perp is dominating. Hydra's health dwindling as Perp trying to find an opening to close out this game. Just needs one W2 into Ragnarok, one kinetic wave into pull into mine or anything, and there's the Ragnarok for the first game. Perp going up 1-0. Right, and as the barrage comes in from Hydra, trying to look for a little bit more damage, a little bit of a slower pace game in the early stages, but you gotta be so careful against Perp because that's a scaled guillotine coming right on top of your head and your health is going down. Even more damage onto Hydra as the health once again dwindles. Has the backstab, has the whirl though, trying to keep up the damage, trying to keep up in terms of pace against Perp here, but as another hand comes down, that's enough damage to win for Perp. So potentially a victory here as the line goes out. The Ragnarok comes in, 19 health remaining on Hydra. So it's just such a scary situation. 4 health now. Looking forward, confident. Hydra still trying to find an opening, trying to equalize this game, but that's a guillotine, that's a bow snipe. 2 cards that could win, but interrupted with a line, and Hydra stays alive for now, but the guillotine will seal their fate. Perp up 2-0. Oh? Perp appears to have gone into the inventory. Honestly, True Zip, get back in here. Wait, that means that's a Discord stream, though.
Hey.
Alright, Zip, 2-0, Perp on top, as I think a lot of people would have expected, but Hydra's keeping up pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, Hydra's holding her own, actually. I think that that guillotine, though, from Perp is really giving Hydra trouble here.
Yeah, especially the verticality of it has caught Hydra on multiple occasions, but this time it's a Ragnarok and Thunder with the kinetic wave. 23 health remaining on Hydra, and this particular game's looking a little scary.
Hydra just continuing to eat damage. Those mine's gonna come out and get that third game. It is a shutout. Perpiel winning 3-0. 3-0? Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah.
You know, Hydra still has a chance. Pick the losers bracket, but still not quite out.
Yeah. Well, that first game went over quick, but we have another Alpha versus Launch Player matchup coming up next. It's Papa Gurgle versus Aneurysms as our next matchup. And despite how quick that last game was, in the second game particularly, Hydra was keeping up quite well in terms of pace, in terms of damage, so definitely high hopes heading into the loser side.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hydra makes a monstrous losers bracket run.
But Papa Gurgle versus Aneurysms, any particular expectations on this next game?
I haven't seen Aneurysms play actually. Papa Gurgle is still running the Saffron deck.
Yeah, I haven't really seen Aneurysms that much recently either, and Papa Gurgle, of course. This deck's a bit of a classic.
Oh, it's a rave attack.
Wait, Zip,
there are
getting
so
game,
many
getting
times
game
where
real quick.
I know. Give me a minute.
I don't want a Discord stream. I despise it. I hate it.
I know. But I mean, give me a couple, literally a couple more seconds. I have to wait for the screen to go away. Alright, this Rave attack has been consistently kicking my ass. I've been beaten down by a lot of Ravas throughout ranked ladder. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah. Right, well, we should be getting started any second now. Can you tell them that they can start? My bad, I'm a tiny bit occupied.
Alright. Well, good luck to both contestants, and we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah. Saffron versus Rava Aneurysms has had a great run through this tournament so far, dispatching Sargly, the champion of the previous week's tourney, so it'll be interesting to see if they can really perform in this matchup. As we head into the first seconds of this game, Aneurysms just continuing on the offense, really, and I think that's going to be a big factor, right? Because Aneurysm is going to be pressing a lot of buttons, but Papa Gurgle is very good at interrupting those buttons.
Yeah, Saffron in general is very good at those sorts of interrupts, and if we're going to see anything, we're going to have to see Aneurysms play a little bit more on the offensive to try and seize those moments.
Yeah. We will have to.
We're not really seeing anything here. Aneurysm's going on that shuffle, just trying to get out of the way, not finding anything, but you know, this could change.
Oh, but big damage from Papa Gurgle, looking for an opening now with those sparklers, trying to set up something, and hanging out a lot in the back row. Aneurysm's deck doesn't really have many tools to attack the back row.
It's interesting though. Oh! Papa
Yeah.
Gurgle getting that quick step into lightning for the first game.
First game ending quite quickly, and Zip, any big thoughts on how these decks match up? Because the biggest thing I noticed, right, is that Aneurysms is going to struggle to target that back row, and Papa Gurgle sitting in that backmost column quite a bit.
Absolutely. We're seeing, Papa Gurgle sitting in the back row, moving up to the front to take advantage of those steps, because Aneurysms is really just sitting in the back here and then using Rava's W2 to jump up to the front and really capitalize on a misposition. But Papa Gurgle here not getting any misposition at all, and 26 damage coming from Papa Gurgle here. This is a brutal deck coming out. Brutal combo.
Yeah, big damage, and as Papa Gurgle heads into this end game, just needs one or two more openings to close it out, looking for the slashes. That's 9 damage on the board, 4 to go, and almost any card will do it. Trying to go for the
not quite
Paragon
coming
here.
out. Heroism's not quite getting that Hyper Beam, but dodging the Paragon. But that is it with the minigun. That is game 2. Papa Gurgle's still showing that he's got something. Into game 3.
Yep. He says he's washed, but he's clearly not. Oh, and the Sparklers come in, 15 damage off of just the W1 from far range.
I mean, that's the thing too. Even if Even if both players are still in the back, Papa Gurgle can just Sparkler step, just W1 step forward until he gets to the range that he wants, and there's nothing Aneurysms can do about it.
Aneurysms now needs to find something quickly. This Hyper Beam could be the answer, but so many high-cost cards combined with the steps that Aneurysms is using, a lot of them are being interrupted by Papa Gurgle, so consistent at getting these counter hits.
And, you know, I'm still worried about the inclusion of Hyper Beam because we're not seeing a lot of those hits come through. Maybe Papa Gurgle is just so good at getting away, getting that one hit, but you know, not enough to really see the deal. And Papa Gurgle getting that third game with the step.
Clean from Papa Gurgle. Aneurysms will head to the loser's side, but unfortunately, we'll have to fight for their life down there because there's a lot of demons in that lower side of the bracket.
I mean, clearly, Aneurysm must have been doing something right to get all the way into top 8, but I don't think I've seen any of it up here.
I mean, it's
shame.
hard to see against the alpha players, right? It's hard to see,
yes.
like, it's just so brutal. But, you know, Aneurysms, I can see it. Like, really tried to power that deck, right? Was getting counter hit a lot by Papa Gurgle, so it was a little tough, but...
I mean, I think it was just a bad matchup. Aneurysm's deck looks like it punishes front row positioning very heavily, and you know, a Papa Gurgle Saffron deck really not reliant on that sort of front row positioning to deal damage.
But we have a completely different matchup up next. It's Residential versus Tenebrae. Both mainstays in the later rounds of these tournaments. Residential, a perp-esque shopkeeper deck with self-defense turret, while Tenebrae is a bit of a menace on the Violet.
I'm interested about the SD turret, actually. It's Windfall specifically is mentioning that it slows down the game a lot, and I think we're going to see that more than ever. Specifically as Tenebrae looks like it has a lot of these wide hitbox spells instead of the more single tile target spells like oh no, there are some single target spells.
Yeah, and the self-defense turret has actually been doing a surprisingly large amount of work so far in this tournament. It really does slow down the opponents, but I'm not sure how useful it will be against Tenebrae in particular, because I think Tenebrae is going to chain together these combos regardless.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? Residential here taking a little bit of damage to get that scale the guillotine. It is definitely not a meme. The Residential here on an empty hand, while Tenebrae just not finding what they need to find.
Yeah. Again, the self-defense turret stalling out so much time for Residential to sit here as Tenebrae trying to find a starter, but it's so difficult. And actually, Shields gets caught by the shield break. Thankfully, though, Residential. Actually, I was about to say thankfully, but the Ragnarok was there.
Just absolute massacre. It's just and then just when you think you're out with 1 HP, that Gravitas is there to just finish the job, and we're in game 2 now.
Okay, well, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Tenebrae here. Another guillotine comes in. Residential has really found their footing here, I think. And it's looking quite confident in this matchup.
Not quite on point with the align dodge, but Residential here almost had a card that bow snipe could do some damage, but I don't think it might do anything. And counter hit.
Yeah, now Residential looking for some snipes with this Ragnarok, with this bow snipe perhaps, with Tenebrae evading, not trying to get caught by the Align on deck. Trying to find an opportunity to use it, evaded away by Tenebrae, and that's a hand, but there's still some scary cards, a Scaled Guillotine perhaps in the later stages of this hand that could really come into play.
Oh, well, but right now, though, Tenebrae has a pretty decent lead. Gets away from the guillotine!
Yeah, hits at the perfect time, and Tenebrae
over.
Back and forth, gets the combo. Yeah, escapes the guillotine and immediately fires back for enough damage to close out the game.
You can really see the true potential of these decks here. Tenebrae fighting back after a early combo from Rifle here. Residential.
Residential now looking for the bow snipe, looking for the Ragnarok perhaps, but Tenebrae is positioning a little bit evasively here, but the Align Ragnarok will be enough.
Tenebrae not quite finding a combo starter, getting away from the guillotine, and getting a good amount of damage, but how that hurts.
Yeah, that's a big opening for Residential, and looking for the triple barrel here, looking to try and close it out as fast as possible. The bow snipe available as well, and will close it out.
Residential takes that second game. Third game, actually.
Yeah, 2-1 in the favor of Residential, as Tenebrae trying to find a game here, but these high damage cards are so scary to dodge away from.
Oh no. Residential getting that triple barrel, but not having enough mana to follow up with a Ragnarok or bow snipe and Ragnarok here. All these high damage cards really putting a wrench in Tenebrae's sort of combo here.
Oh, and raw Ragnarok actually connects, catching Tenebrae hiding behind the self-defense turret, but Tenebrae finds an opening of their own, trying to make this game a little bit closer. Oh!
Oh no! Oh no!
What an opening, what a shield break from Residential, capitalizing on it perfectly, and now wants to close it out, just needs one bow snipe, dodged away by Tenebrae, looking for this next hand, trying to find an opening, but it's going to be so difficult. Now's your time while the shuffle's happening, but can't find it.
No, shut down by the fadeaway. Tenebrae holding out for so long, trying to find any sort of opening to get a combo through, but can't quite find it before that fadeaway comes back through and takes game 4.
Well played to Residential. Well played to Tenebrae too. We saw some of those crazy combos, but in this particular series, it was Residential who punished so well on the shield breaks and came away with the win.
Yeah, those shield breaks are especially dangerous in the hands of a Purple style deck where we see those large damage cards.
Well, next matchup's also an interesting one. Kinger versus Lux. Lux getting the revenge on Sarkly from the last tournament and continuing on into this top 8, but Kinger as well getting to top 8 and trying to go further.
Lux clearly running this Son style deck, this Seas Tetra Downfall, this Ragnarok Align, with it's a very strong punish deck, but there's not a lot in the way of neutral.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one because Kinger will try to spend a lot of time on Lux's side of the field, and Lux is going to try to keep Kinger trapped on their own side of the field. So it's really, again, if Lux can take it slow and play her game, it is so hard to stop her.
thing that worries me the most, though, is the Celestia returns and how Lux is going to punish those with their W2 or W1. But I mean, we'll see how this game goes.
Yeah.
King are getting a good couple bits of damage with the shears up early, but Lux quickly reversing it for a 38 damage combo.
That's the Toretta 38 special. You get caught by W2 while Triple Barrel and Ragnarok are coming up. You eat so much damage, but Kinger still equalizing, still getting a lot of neutral hits.
We can't count anybody out. Lux not having enough mana for this follow-up.
Really wants to fish for this
punished for
W2
that.
into Triple Barrel into Ragnarok here, but will not quite land it.
Link setup is good, though.
Yeah, but only has Downfall in hand, uses it, and now it is Kinger's opportunity to get big damage here with the Frost Axe. Gets the Frost proc, doesn't quite get the Frost Slash, but will get it here. And now Lux is in a hard position, right? One more Frost proc, and you take 5 extra damage. Such a hard place to be in.
Barely dodging that. That Frost Barrage would be lethal.
3 health remaining. Needs to find a big opening here to Triple Barrel. Interrupts
Yes.
into the seas. No hit step.
Into the seas! No way! Kinger could have the optimal play is to shield there, but Kinger not quite familiar. Here.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get the defensive in the moment and gets caught by that, and Lux will take those. You know, no matter how you win the game, you will still take those. And now looking for big damage again. Triple Barrel, Ragnarok in hand, backstab as well.
43!
43 now with the C's available with plenty of mana to play with. Trying to go for the W2. Gets it. W2 Triple Barrel. Backstab. And the whirl. Lux is on fire.
That's 2 engages. Lux takes 2 engages, really. And that's it. Look, this is such a strong punish deck. It's not even... It's too powerful. You know, we've been seeing a lot of calls for these sorts of decks. They're seen as... you know, they're unfun to play against, and I wouldn't say they're unfun, but with the punish game as strong as this, we can see why some players don't like it as much.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with Kinger stepping a lot into the front row, right? But when you try to step into the front row, you get caught by the Suture, you get sent to the back row, you get comboed for 3 million damage. Kinger needs to play more defensively to not get caught because you're taking so much damage every single time.
I think part of this is also a knowledge check, where Kinger isn't countering Triple Barrel correctly. Punching back though with the Frost Slash.
Oh, but the Tetra comes out. That's some extra damage on top. Lux needs one more opening. Has the C's here, but it's actually Kinger getting a lot of damage back. Lux really wanting to go for a string into a whirl, but won't be able to find it. Has the Ragnarok in hand, has the Blink. Blink W2, Ragnarok will kill here. Oh, goes for it, but it's hit stepped away by Kinger.
And the downfall for the kill. Lux takes this 3-0 shutout.
Yeah, really well played by Lux. We saw why she's such a scary player there. Really well played.
I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about when I say like Lux's punish game is so strong. We saw that earlier game where Lux goes for 38, for 43. These are easily a third, a half of your HP gone in one hand, really.
Yeah, really powerful conversions, and Lux landing so many, so precise in this set, and well, we'll have to see if the next few games are as consistent for Lux, because she has plenty of difficult opponents up next.
Oh, this matchup will be interesting. bit of a break here. Here as we get stuff sorted out behind the scenes.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one as it's Aneurysms versus Residential. And Residential has been on a bit of a tear so far, and Aneurysms falling from the winner's bracket, but got in top 8 on winner's side, so definitely has to be pretty confident.
Alright, I think... I mean, I'm excited to see what Aneurysms plays here. I think we're going to see some... we'll see what this deck was truly meant to be... sorry. How this deck was truly meant to be played.
Yeah, as we head into this game, it's probably going to have better luck against Papa Gurgle, because Papa Gurgle really wasn't contesting the front row, but if Aneurysms is standing in the back, Residential will need to stand in the front to contest that.
And we see this game start. Gets that kinetic wave near the end. Just both players kind of looking for an opening here.
Both snipe landing and a big opportunity for Residential here, but Aneurysms, yeah, again, I think this is a bit of an annoying matchup for Residential to play. I think Aneurysms understands the game plan, counter hitting quite often on these off angles, because if you stand at the back row, then Residential's the one who's vulnerable.
The dodge on the Ragnarok, thinking it's an easy opening, but not. But Aneurysms getting that dodge when it matters, and oh no! But that guillotine.
Yeah, stepping right into the guillotine, not what you want to see, and the mistletoe for the added damage as well. And now Aneurysms getting in there, and this time stepping confidently into the front row, just invulning right through the mine to clear it away.
I mean, this is what. Oh no! The Align Ragnarok.
Yeah, and with the bow snipe available, this could be it. Closed out by Residential, even though Aneurysms had control throughout the entire game, it felt like. When it mattered most, the Ragnarok landed, the guillotine landed, and finally the bow snipe landed.
Residential just continuously getting these sorts of hits out here. These strong, like, high damage blows. And Aneurysm's not quite finding any counterplay for them quite yet. You know, Raven's weapons are still quite strong, you know, invulning through that mine, but you know, the Hyper Beam coming out, and we'll see if Residential has any answer to this.
Oh, and gets shield broken, and you don't want to be shield broken against a shopkeeper. That's a lot of damage, but it could have been much worse. Thankfully, Triple Barrel and Ragnarok both later on in the deck, but you still have to be so careful when you're at 11 HP against a shopkeeper that can one-shot you from numbers that are higher than that. Triple Barrel available, a line available, and guillotine available here. Going for a triple barrel, but actually that creates an opening for Aneurysms to get back into the game, but just steps vertically against the guillotine and Residential, looking confident.
I mean, that guillotine has been causing a lot of problems for a lot of players. That K-Wave into triple barrel into mine, but Residential just not leaving any openings, getting those high damage cards, putting in the work.
Yeah, and you're someone who's fought against both of these styles of players before, right? And I guess what do you think's really making the difference? Is it? I think a lot of it is just that Aneurysms is slightly getting caught off guard on these defensive situations, right? Usually so good at standing in the back row, the positioning is perfect, like we're seeing here, really setting up herself to get in a position to do damage like that, but just these one or two defensive interactions where you have to press evade, where you have to step forwards instead of upwards, that's where a Residential is getting that extra damage.
That really is what it is. Aneurysms is very good at finding those like mispositions where Residential is standing up front and just punishing those. You know, any little misposition up front, Aneurysms can just W2, Rush, those sorts of things. But we're seeing that, if Aneurysms makes a misposition, we might see it. Something like that can happen.
Oh, and even though Residential messed up the fadeaway, there was still enough time on the shield break left to close out the set. Residential taking it 3-0 here.
Residential having a strong showing even down here in losers bracket. Aneurysm's not quite getting the not quite playing the defense too strongly. I think that's something we'll be seeing in possibly later tournaments. Aneurysms could become a real threat to be reckoned with if those sort of defensive options could be brushed up and made more secure.
Yeah, I mean, Aneurysm's gotten to top 8 on winner's side. That's impressive in the first place and showed a lot of why their game plan was so effective. Here, almost got the games versus Residential, but not quite. And shout out to Residential, right? Last week, Residential actually lost in the early stages of top 8 due to a misinput. This time, the misinput did not cost them, and they're moving on to top 4. But we have
versus Hydra.
Yeah, we have a bit of a rematch. These two faced off earlier in the bracket, and Hydra was the victor there. But you know, in these tournaments, when Lux is facing a Chiretta who knocked her down into losers in top 8, Lux has never lost the run back.
Lux is probably feeling a little bit of that. Losers are on fire in her. We're seeing. Let's see if Lux can tear open any of these, any openings that she finds, and Hydra will have to present this sort of defensive wall, not wall necessarily, but will have to play really well, leave no openings in their neutral, in order to get any to have a chance.
Yeah, I think a lot of these games and a lot of these matchups boil down to defensive opportunities and the pace of the game, right? Because Hydra wants to keep the pace fast, wants to keep Lux guessing and trying to find an opening desperately. Hydra wants a lot of these small openings, while Lux needs to slow it down, right? Get a lot of these big conversions and get the big damage in like 2 or 3 touches, end the game.
No, Lux clearly having learned something. That W2 into triple barrel. Oh, that W1, the Ragnarok to finish off game 1.
That's a wild conversion
what
too.
Are we seeing here?
Yeah, that wasn't even against the back wall. That was just at mid-screen, and I think it's an immediate deck change for Random Hydra going to a different variant of the Chiretta deck here.
I think Entangle is one of the new cards that I'm seeing here, and Entangle I think might throw a wrench in Lex's plans. Align and Whirl are some of these position reliant cards, and if you're trapped, it might be difficult to do anything.
Oh, but immediately getting the W2 into Ragnarok. But yeah, this is a bit, again, like I made the callback to last week when Lux was fighting against Gret. Gret actually ran Entangle to great effect, but I think Lux has a little bit of experience from that card, won the run back against Gret after Gret sent her to losers in that last tournament and ended up getting second place there. But right now, Hydra looking to be even greater here, getting a lot of these openings, then that's a big health lead. Never mind, it's a small health lead.
Lux is not giving up. Lux is not giving up, though. That backstab into Whirl is still very, very deadly. The W2 into Ragnarok. I need a counter on one of those.
Yeah, it's the Chiretta special, and Lux is an expert at landing them. Going for the triple barrel into backstab here. Wants W2, but shoots out the triple barrel, and that means it is Hydra who has the Whirl on deck to take the second game.
Looking for something. That Whirl doing a little bit of damage near the end. We're trying to see if Lux can get that rag. It doesn't connect, but backstab Whirl. It just keeps them coming.
And, oh, actually following up on the downfall with the W2 as well. Getting a lot of chip damage here is Lux really keeping up in the pace against Hydra, despite Hydra having the deck that's better in the scramble situation. Lux going for a blink play here, trying to fake out Hydra, but Hydra stays 3 away, gets the small conversion for quite a bit of damage.
I mean, looking for that W2. Lux is looking for the W2 to get into triple barrel. Hydra is just playing a impressive neutral right now. Still getting hit with that brag though. Well, what can you do?
I mean, it's the two mindsets, right? Hydra just wants a consistent damage. Lux wants to hit it big. 90% of gamblers quit, and unfortunately did not hit it big enough in that game. Random Hydra staying consistent, taking a 2-1 lead.
Tango coming out, not capitalizing it on time, and
Oh.
Lux with that counter hit, but like coming back, and Hydra is still putting up that strong defense, throwing that W1 to try and get an interrupt.
Yeah, Hydra just staying 3 away and making sure that Lux on the front row can't really do anything. See, look, just staying 3 away. Finally, Lux actually punishing that quite a bit by being the first one to use that Hue and getting a lot of damage down. But every time Lux on the front row tries to do something, Hydra is there to interrupt, but this time Lux is a little bit faster.
This is the strength of Lux's deck. Caught out in misposition once, you're going to lose so much HP. We've seen these in earlier games, and we're not seeing the end of it now. Tetra shuts down, takes game. This is a 2-2, and we are on game 5.
Right, and this could be anyone's game, but Lux has a very scary opening hand. But the question is, will Lux spend too much time fishing for this? Because Lux is bleeding out on this front row and decides not to commit to it too hard, but you've already lost so much health. You're at 50% now, and Hydra with the counter hit. And that's kind of like the flying too close to the sun moment for this Chiretta deck, right? If you have that triple barrel Ragnarok in hand, you really, really want to land at W2, but your opponent knows that.
Yeah, and we're seeing this, go badly for Lux. Who's trying to fish for that, and now is at 25 to 83. Lux still has, with this deck, Lux can still do a lot of damage. That W2 Rag coming out, but is this deficit too big for even Lux to get past?
Oh, gets away from the Thunder just barely. That's a good triple barrel. That's a good backstab to heal a little bit. But Greed's on the mana catch, gets caught, and 2 health remaining. It's such a scary situation. The kunai dodged away from the step slash is enough. Random Hydra wins both games against Lux.
Brutal games coming out here. I think Hydra is just too good in that sort of neutral game, and Lux can't find enough openings. Clearly, when Lux finds openings, she capitalizes on them, but Hydra just not presenting Lux with any of the opportunities.
Yeah, and really well played by both players. I'll have to say, though, it was a neck-and-neck series. I think, though, I feel it. As someone who uses triple barrel and Ragnarok on Chiretta, like, the intrusive thoughts, you have to go for it when you get triple barrel Ragnarok. You want that 38 damage, maybe 42, maybe 40, 44 or whatever, but
you have to.
When you go, your opponent knows that at this level, and unfortunately, she did not hit it big.
We could have seen this game go wildly differently, but it's a shame Lux not getting that first hit, and it just went downhill from there.
Well, Zipit, it looks like my time with you has come to an end. Those last few games were kind of crazy, though.
Thank you for having me on. I will see you all later. Good luck to the rest of the participants.
See ya. And hello, Windfall.
Yep, I am back and here to commentate the rest of this. So here we are. We have Purple versus Papa Gurgle. We got the double P squad here. Purple showing off the cool neon skin as well. But now we have two very strong alpha testers about to butt heads, and I cannot wait to see how this is going to end.
Yeah. It is a monumental matchup in this winners final. And have you seen these two like play against each other in a tournament setting recently?
Actually, I think the last time I saw these two play against each other in a tournament setting was in the last Alpha of the Alphas tournament, which most of these people, most viewers will not know about. That is the last time I think I've seen them play. I'm not sure if they have played in bracket after that.
Well, this is a really fast opener. Papa Gurgle, though, getting a lot of damage here. Again, those sparkler chains have been doing so much work.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting to see how Purple is going to land these hits, because Papa Gurgle is a player known for just having incredibly good defense and fundamentals, and then on top of that, playing Saffron, a character incredibly good at interrupting and kind of just not getting hit. So it'll be very interesting to see how Purple will get around this and land those big hits that she needs to win. And there's one of them right there with the Gravitas into the guillotine.
And the scaled guillotine. So much damage down, and Papa Gurgle's lead has vanished in an instant, but with how consistent Papa Gurgle is playing, could really build up that lead again in just a moment.
Alright, so we got Purple shuffling away the rest of that hand, and now we have Papa Gurgle probably just searching for a quick confirm right here off of that minigun, unfortunately not getting it. Ooh, and dodging the align on just point blank, tile 1.
Getting hit by so much damage back though, and you know that Perp is looking to try and catch Papa Gurgle off guard with the guillotine. Does not quite land it there, but the fadeaway is also on deck, but gets interrupted. Can't pull Papa Gurgle into it, so these attempts are not landing, and Papa Gurgle still staying at a pretty healthy amount of health.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle just avoiding most of these setups. Unfortunately, not that one right there, but you know, a lot of Purple is just normal poking setups with Gravitas are just not hitting. Papa Gurgle just knows. He knows he knows where he needs to be and knows where he needs to not be in order to stay safe.
Oh, but the line's looking a little scary, trying to catch the dodge on the tax return, but not quite. Papa Gurgle dodging twice, getting out of there, and his hand again a little scary. The Thunder traded for the Sparkler. Purple looking for something here, trying to pull into the fadeaway, but Papa Gurgle's defense is just too good.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle just mostly avoiding most of these hits, but unfortunately, I think Papa Gurgle is also having to sacrifice quite a bit of his offense as well in order to avoid being hit by these large damage combos.
Oh,
and there it is.
Yeah, gets caught at the last second by the guillotine, gets pulled in at the last possible moment, and Purple take the first game.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle just playing an amazing defense that entire game, but unfortunately, you have to play more than defense to win, you know. Papa Gurgle having to focus so much on defense, sacrificing a bit too much of his offense and not being able to keep up in damage.
Oh, and unfortunately, not enough mana for Perp. Needs to go for a read on the Ragnarok. Goes for, but Papa Gurgle not getting caught there. But the extra credit will come in regardless. Perp with a bit of a lead.
We got both players on the fresh hand here. Both very dangerous hands. You know, we have the Auto Slash into Whirl. We have the Kinetic Wave Ragnarok. But Papa Gurgle deciding to being able to hit that hand first.
Yeah, really well played by Papa Gurgle. We're seeing a lot of this consistent damage, the conversions off of the starter. That's just the W1 with the Sparkler and dodging away, not trying to get caught by the scaled guillotine.
Once again, just Papa Gurgle just being able to make Perp brick so many of these spells. Unfortunately, not that one right there. Purple being able to land that bow snipe, and Papa Gurgle now being caught shuffling on a full hand by Perp. And the rag!
With the Thunder on top, so much damage down. Papa Gurgle has to be careful. The fadeaway is enough to close out the second game. Perp looking very confident.
Yeah, unfortunately, Papa Gurgle is just amazing defense is just not enough in order to take this. So Papa Gurgle will need to find more opportunities to hit Perp.
Yeah, that's a good conversion there, but gets aligned right into the mine, and this guillotine looking scary, but not quite catching. 81 to 85. Not a spot you want to be in if you're Papa Gurgle, as there's a little bit of lag, but it quickly disappears.
Yeah, we have Purple here with the kinetic wave into Rag in hand, and Papa Gurgle just the auto slash push slash here. You know, you gotta decide if it's worth the risk. And ooh, just narrowly avoiding that kinetic wave that could have led to very large amounts of damage. But Perp managing to still get the extra credit there with the fadeaway.
Papa Gurgle, though, still finding a few small combos, keeping up in damage. Needs to not get hit here, though. There's a lot of cards that could be scary coming up. But thankfully, a bit of an awkward rotation for Perp. Has to burn the kinetic wave or the Align and gets caught by a huge combo from Papa Gurgle.
Yeah, massive combo there from Papa Gurgle, but also just immediately answered back by a massive combo from Purple. Just immediately returning that lead to Purple. And now we have Purple with a very dangerous hand right there. Could have easily closed out the game, but Papa Gurgle managing to avoid those spells.
Yeah, the guillotine not quite connecting here, but you got to be careful because that Ragnarok and the Thunder are both looking very scary. And Perp there, not the kinetic wave, but the Align on deck. Has to be very, very careful. Papa Gurgle dares to step into the front row and actually wins with the push slash.
And now we're at that threshold where both of these players right now are basically just looking for the proper hit in order to close out this game, you know. Ooh, just narrowly avoiding that guillotine. Good patience by Papa Gurgle, not moving into the gravitas, but is he going to be able to close it out here? And he is with the pair again.
What a good conversion off of that singular opening given over by Perp. And as we head into this game 4, we've seen how Papa Gurgle can win this, so... But it's going to be a long road ahead, especially with these smaller conversions compared to the big shopkeeper damage.
Yeah, Shopkeeper is just a character that you have to play very patiently against, because, you know, you start rushing, you get too aggressive, and then, you know, you're taking damage more faster than you're dealing it. But Papa Gurgle just finding the right level of patience necessary, the right balance of offense and defense needed to win this matchup.
Another fadeaway connecting, and fadeaway such a tricky card to read against Shopkeeper. Such a different position compared to all the other ones, and actually an uncharacteristic Align catch onto Papa Gurgle, not dodging there, caught in the startup of Sparkler, it looked like.
Yeah, he's not really someone caught by Align that much. Ooh, but unfortunately also caught by that K-Wave there, and now at a 30 HP deficit against Shopkeeper. Definitely a very scary position.
Still gets a lot of health back, just an 11 health deficit now, and starting to bring it back little by little, but you gotta be careful again. The Align on deck, dodged away from kinetic wave as well. Mine now available, and the tax return is gonna be very scary on the tile above.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle just weaving his way around the field, trying not to get taken out by that hand, and also just trying to look for those opportunities to find his own offenses, but unfortunately getting caught by that guillotine, and now it's 7 HP. Ooh! And doing it with that pair, get into the auto slash, just managing to close out that game before Purple has a chance to respond.
What a good play there. Like, just catching out Perp's defensive options, basically trapping her in that tile, and managing to convert at the very end. And in this 5th game, it could be anyone's.
Yeah, we could definitely see this going either way right now, you know. Shopkeeper is a character that you don't really have leads against, but, you know, Papa Gurgle, just having the defensive skills to be able to actually keep these leads a lot of the time.
Perp now going for the big damage here, but Papa Gurgle still not getting caught. And again, this defense, as you said, such a big obstacle for Perp when Papa Gurgle is this consistent, finding a little bit of damage, but now this deck has been reduced to being much more normal.
Yeah, and Papa Gurgle actually shielding the triple barrel there, something we haven't seen too much, so good to see it happen. And oh, finding the weapon conversion into that auto slash whirl right there.
Papa Gurgle now looking for an opening, and actually not getting caught by the claw trap. Huge in terms of momentum, and with Perp having to fish for a lot of damage here, we're gonna have to see if this Ragnarok lands, because that could decide the entire game whether this lead can be brought in check.
Yeah, this is quite the intense game here. You know, Papa Gurgle can't really afford to slip up on his defense, you know, just having to narrowly avoid these very large pokes. And Purple just trying to find these hits, you know, trying to find these pokes against Papa Gurgle is just proving to be extremely difficult right now.
Yeah, it seems like Papa Gurgle is in his rhythm with the whirl. We'll finish it off and be on winner's side of Grand Finals.
Yep, Papa Gurgle moving on into Grand Finals. What absolutely insane defense and being able to put Purple in losers. You know, Papa Gurgle with the wash tag, but is he really?
That reverse sweep was not something that could have been done by someone who is washed. He is lying.
Yeah, definitely Papa Gurgle slander. Papa Gurgle is a liar. PG slander.
A little bit dishonest with that tag, but we're heading to the loser semis. Residential versus Random Hydra, 2 up-and-coming players who have both performed far better than their previous a Sunday Shuffle, right? Both of them bowing out a little bit earlier in the bracket. Residential to actually an ill-timed tax return, sending the opponent away from the Ragnarok that would have killed. But even though there was a misinput this tournament, Residential, it didn't matter. Still converted, still made it here into the top 4.
Yeah, this is quite the difficult tournament for these two to be able to climb their way up here into loser side finals. So I'm definitely excited to see here who will come out on top. You know, both of these players have just been very impressive overall. Both of them have just very scary decks to be fighting with a good amount of damage output. So it will be interesting to see how this is going to go. why is Rag in your deck?
Wait, but Rag's also in Rez's deck. This is some wild accusations here.
Yeah, we got some hypocrisy going on.
Yeah, but for anyone in the chat who's watching this, who is new to the game, it does seem very scary. It is a bit of a hard game to teach as well, but if you just focus on the simpler conversions, like finding your weapons into whatever, it gets a lot simpler, I think. That was a wild tangent. I don't know, Windfall. You're gonna have to intro this game because I just went so off topic.
All right, here we go into Hydra versus Rifle. The funny little trade right there with Bow Snipe. Definitely, clearly in Residential's favor though, because the 17 damage card.
Yep, and again, Hydra not necessarily going for as big damage as a lot of these decks that we're seeing from Perp, from Lux, from Residential, which is also from Perp in a way. And what a conversion from Rez, finding a lot of big damage, but Hydra's not too far behind here.
Yeah, Hydra's definitely going to have to be a little bit careful with these blinks, you know, because Rifle, Residential right there, just holding that K-Wave, trying to find opportunities for Hydra to come up front and catch them into a very large damage combo.
Hydra now fishing a little bit for that W2, but this SD turret doing a lot of work in terms of making the offense a little bit difficult for Hydra.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the traps up front overall just kind of make it hard for Hydra to play in the front, preventing Hydra from being able to move up and down and track with that suture.
Yeah, and with the guillotine closing it out, Rez seems very, very practiced in this matchup. I believe plays a lot with Lux, if I do recall, so pretty practiced against the Chiretta.
Yeah, definitely benefiting from that additional matchup experience there. If Residential has been fighting Lux a lot, then Residential will definitely have a ton of experience here and be able to kind of find those openings that may be difficult.
We'll have to see if Hydra can adapt right back, though, because this is the slightly different variant of the deck that Hydra didn't use as a starter, but has found a lot of success with the Entangle and the Kunai. Both big additions that I think will help out.
Yeah, it looks like Hydra has apologized by removing Rag from the deck here.
It's interesting because Hydra's been finding a lot more success with this variant, but without the big damage of the Rag. I think a lot of it's also a mindset thing, right? If you have Rag in your deck, you're kind of encouraged to go for a lot of Chiretta W2s. You want to find that big open, you want to hit it big, but without that kind of mental restriction, I feel like you find yourself with a lot more flexibility.
Yeah, you know, just immediately right off the bat, we already see Hydra landing more hits, so you might be right there with the mindset change, allowing Hydra to better track Residential and find more openings.
Another backstab comes in, interrupting, actually saving Hydra's life, I believe. That would have killed if that didn't counter hit.
Ooh, but Residential just finding that bow snipe poke right there. And now we have both players just very low HP. Hydra managing to catch Residential there with the push slash at the end, taking the first game. Or was that the second game? Second game.
Yeah, it's 1-1 right now, and what a clutch ending from Hydra. That was so close. It felt like Residential was in control. Actually, it had the kinetic wave to almost close it out, but it was instead Hydra who brought it back.
Yeah, I mean, now we got Residential with just a small lead right here, you know. Not really something that you can count on against a character like Chiretta, but definitely some scary cards in hand.
Oh,
ooh, and the shield break.
Oh, but unfortunately Hydra not getting as much damage as they wanted, but will still get a good chunk for the lead, but has to be a little bit careful around this guillotine, now going to do a lot of damage.
Ooh, and the guillotine, once again, just as you said, doing a ton of damage and shortening that gap a little bit. Hydra's still with the lead here, but they will need to be a bit careful if they don't want to lose it, and it's almost gone.
Residential now fishing, looking for the align. Will actually catch the tail end of a dodge from Hydra and just even up this game completely.
Yeah, now these both players are neck and neck. You know, one mistake from either player could easily close out the game. And there it is, the one mistake from Hydra getting aligned into that mine and being taken out by the Rag.
Really well set up from Residential. And we're seeing why they are so far in this tournament. Trying to get the run back against Perp, it feels like, and we'll see if that can be successful, if they can make it past Hydra in this potentially final game. The SD turn again, proving to be a bit of an obstacle for the movement of Hydra.
Yeah, I think Residential is definitely looking for a run back against Perp. Definitely looking for the revenge set, but they will need to finish up this set against Hydra first and take this set if they want to get there. And it looks like they might be able to do it. They have a slight lead right here, but Hydra is slowly starting to come back.
Hydra bringing it back little bit by little bit, but there's another mine. That W2 into mine. So scary when it comes from Residential.
Yeah, honestly, mine just being quite a dangerous card for Hydra in this specific matchup here, this player matchup, because, you know, a lot of times Hydra's getting kind of counter hit by a line into the mine and then getting comboed off of that.
Yeah, the hit stun of it really proved to be a big asset, but a good dodge from Hydra makes sure that they don't take too much damage here. Bow snipe available, a line and a Ragnarok in hand. This could be the final seconds of the game here if Residential lands it, but a good dodge by Hydra will keep the game alive.
Yeah, unfortunately getting caught by that extra credit right there, the fadeaway. And once again, just going to need to nearly avoid that guillotine. And now we have Hydra, Residential at 27 HP. Both players kind of having the damage they need to close out this game with one more good hit.
Good movement from Hydra to not get caught there. The mine's so scary, but Hydra still staying alive, still dodging away from so much, counter hitting as well. But the kinetic wave into triple barrel will close it out. Residential is going to move on.
Yes, that is correct. So we are going to see Residential moving on for the revenge set against Purple, the double shopkeeper. Residential decides to keep playing shopkeeper, that is, because they did try other characters last time. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go. And, you know, maybe, you know, Residential does win that set. You know, we're going to see Residential versus Papa Gurgle and see if the student can take out the person who defeated the master.
And it looks like Perp's already here, ready to face off against Residential. This is just a crazy matchup to have, especially in losers finals.
It looks like Residential does want to use the Terror break deck, but unfortunately they will have to lose the first game since they are locked into this deck, I believe, according to the rules. Yeah, only loser can switch.
Yeah, it's a bit tough, but it also makes sure that you have to be very, very confident in selecting your starter deck, right? I think there's been a lot of cases where people who go deep into a tournament actually preferred their second deck and ended up like having to lose the switch, which is a little bit tragic.
Yeah, being down a game can definitely become very unfortunate if your opponent does manage to come back, because, you know, then you have it in the back of your mind, just like, oh, what if I played my correct deck that one game, and, you know, I may have been able to win this set.
But Rez versus Perp starts out with a guillotine. Bit of a lead for Perp early, but leads are very ephemeral in this particular matchup. But a good dodge by Rez against a kinetic wave doesn't get caught by the blender. Yeah,
like you said, in this kind of matchup, that kind of lead can be closed with just one poke, and it already has been closed, right? So we're gonna see, oh, catching him with the fadeaway there, and a shield break into the mine.
But thankfully, didn't have enough cards to really punish. Rez stays alive for a little bit longer, doesn't get hit by 80 damage. It feels like would have come down, but another mine comes in. Perp is pulling away with it here.
Yeah, Perp really harassing Residential with these traps, and then getting that bow snipe poke right there, and then Rez with the returning bow snipe poke. but we can see Perp definitely fishing there for that kinetic wave, but unfortunately not getting it.
Yeah, and a lot of the gameplay. Oh, wait a second. As I was saying, even though it seemed like Perp had a lead, that lead just completely vanished. Now the fadeaway almost connects. Going for anything here, but actually gets just dragged in on the parry.
Yeah, unfortunately standing adjacent to that mine and getting dragged in and losing the game as a result. You know, those mines are definitely very scary. Typically one of the main SK tips is don't stand next to traps, so unfortunately Residential getting caught breaking that rule.
And Residential typed in Twitch chat right after that happened, wait, parrying doesn't do anything. And unfortunately, parrying in this game, not as powerful as in other games.
Yeah, parrying will unfortunately not stop you from getting moved, so even if you parry, you're still moving right into that mine and you're still going to get blown up. Oh, failing dodge.
But still keeping up here, right? In these games, it really isn't over until it's over. Both shopkeepers have so much damage potential, so much burst that even a 20 health lead doesn't really mean anything if it's like 10 health versus 30 health.
Yeah, both players here kind of just switching back and forth between leads. You know, it really does not really mean that much. When, like I said, when you're playing a game where it takes one hand to kill you, a lead does not really mean anything.
Oh, but a good bow snipe to catch Rez off guard, and Perp now with a lead that might mean something because almost any stray hit will take it.
Yes, but Residential landing that guillotine there, very important. But unfortunately getting pulled into that claw trap and then getting pulled to the front and being finished off with that kinetic wave.
Oh, is it time to go to Break Terra?
Oh, they're gambling. Okay, it looks like we are going to see Residential whip out the Break Terra that they whipped out in the last time they fought Purple.
This is interesting. So do you remember how it went?
I can't fully remember how they did. I don't know if they took any games with it, but I do know that this is a very annoying deck to fight, from what I've seen.
Okay, and so far the movement is good, and so far it feels like they're doing pretty well, but these tiles aren't really being broken. Oh, never mind, they are, and now it's Perp's turn to be on the receiving end of a lot of pressure. Wait a second, never mind, that's a shield break.
Yeah, when you're fighting Break Terra, you know, you're honestly on a bit of a timer, right? Because avoiding those Starfield setups are just so hard, right? But Shopkeeper, being a very capable character of being able to finish off the opponent within that time limit, as you can see, you know, Purple, just even in disadvantage, is being able to keep up with the damage that Residential is outputting, and then finding those additional hits to close out the game and closing out the set. Unfortunately, the gamble not paying off for Residential.
Really, really good attempt, but it was Perp who comes out on top. Yeah, that was like 20 seconds. Damn. But yeah,
speaking of time limit, you know, Purple clearly capable of very capable of meeting that time requirement.
Yeah, but it was definitely closer than I expected, honestly. Rez was damage racing quite hard, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, winning a damage race against Shopkeeper, definitely something that proves to be very difficult. So here we are again in Grand Finals. We have Papa Gurgle versus Purple, and I believe this is still best of 5, right?
Best of 5 with bracket reset.
Yes, so if Purple does want to win, they will need to beat Papa Gurgle twice, which is definitely a very tough challenge. You know, Papa Gurgle, with the amount of defense and adaptation they have, Purple is definitely in for a long ride if they want to win this tournament.
And Garden's popping off in the chat because both of these are training art coaches, so he will be chatting about it. He is guaranteed.
Yes, they are training art coaches for a reason, because they are very, very good players. They are considered among the best of the best, and that is why they are participating and training these newbies.
Well, this is it, the final set of the tournament. It's gonna be a good one.
Oh, he switched his title to yeah, Papa Gurgle carrying the spirit of Eden Dove, who was unfortunately taken out quite early, carrying his spirit with him into Grands.
Speaking of Eden Dev still placed top half, I believe. Still a very solid placement in a tournament like this.
Yeah, especially since, Eden Dev obviously has to spend more time developing the game than, actually being able to play it. So definitely a great performance right there. But we have Purple right here with a decent lead against Papa Gurgle. Unfortunately missing the guillotine setup right there. But we will need to see Papa Gurgle try and close the gap, but unfortunately gap widens.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle really likes to hit out of disadvantage, right? Do a little bit of the Abare, but against Perp, it's a little bit scary when some of those big cards are thrown out and you get hit for more damage than you would be dishing out.
Unfortunately, Papa Gurgle getting caught in the corner right there. Both of his movement options being limited to areas where he can get dragged into the mine.
The bow snipe comes out, a good dodge from Papa Gurgle, but another Thunder. I think Perp has caught on to a lot of these habits and is throwing out a lot of cards from 4 away to catch Papa Gurgle pressing the Sparkler button.
Yeah, and catching on to those habits will be necessary, because Purple's got a long road ahead, 2 sets to win, if they do want to take this tournament.
Thunder comes in, the Shotgun comes in, as well as Perp has 2 big damage cards in hand. Going for a Kinetic Wave perhaps, needs a little bit more mana to do so. And Papa Gurgle staying consistent. This lead is shrinking for Perp.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle just managing to avoid the traps they are trying to pull him into the Kinetic Wave, and even being able to land a bit of a counter hit with the Whirl.
And using these evades so often, knowing that they're such an important defensive tool against this Perp deck, and that they're honestly the best thing against the deck. You don't even have to move a lot of the time. You just press the evade button and you're mostly safe.
Alright, so this is Papa Gurgle's time to be a little bit aggressive. Now Purple's hand is up, so he will have to play quite defensively again. But he's definitely going to need to be able to find more hits in order to close out this game. With just barely any HP left, is Purple going to be able to get the extra credit? And there it is!
Yep, the fadeaway will close out the first game. Again, like you said, Perp, a long road ahead to take this tournament, but it's looking very doable.
Yeah, Perp making necessary adaptations and once again catching Papa Gurgle into the trap and being able to land all 3 shots of triple barrel there, getting Perp a decent lead.
Papa Gurgle looking for a lot of these pokes, but again, Perp is forcing Papa Gurgle permanently on the defense.
Yeah, and then Perp also managing to utilize those traps in the back column in order to force Papa Gurgle to move up, and then catching them with a Kinetic Wave a lot of these times.
Oh, and catching the pull attempt as well. Feels like Perp has caught on to every single habit in the book right now. Papa Gurgle can't get anything going.
Yeah, Perp really showing that Perp has the download on Papa Gurgle's defense, so we will need to see some adaptation. Papa Gurgle will have to mix it up, and then maybe throw in more interruptions in order to meme around. Oh, what's he doing? Inventory? Oh, Papa Gurgle's playing up the Hazel.
This is an interesting one. This is what a lot of people remember of Papa Gurgle, right?
Yes, Hazel is Papa Gurgle's main. He is the Bomb Maestro, so Papa Gurgle finally revealing his true power, really deciding to go 100% in order to try and stop Perp from taking this tournament.
Oh, Beam Crystal gonna be quite important in this matchup. I feel like it's gonna do a lot to stop Perp's rhythm.
Yeah, Beam Crystal can actually be quite an annoying card for Shopkeeper. And then overall, just Hazel as well is going to be quite annoying because just as Papa Gurgle did right there, now he has the option to remove the traps that he's getting pulled into a lot of these times.
Oh, but Perp is continuing to deal the damage. Not quite the full combo, but still a very big chunk. And the Papa Gurgle stepping forward, that this Auto Slash actually doing a lot of work in terms of making so that Perp can permanently target him down.
And then also using the structures there to block that align. And because Papa Gurgle does have these structures, it's going to actually allow Papa Gurgle to play more aggressively in the front. Because as you can see there, it's going to be able to stop Perp from tracking with that K-Wave.
What a parry on the bomb explosion though. Perp not trying to take any extra damage, and she's still looking to be in control, looking to reset the bracket as soon as possible.
Alright, so now we got Papa Gurgle going for some bomb plays right there and successfully landing it, the bomb off of the deviate and getting the shear into whirl. So now we have Papa Gurgle in the lead.
But as soon as you say that, the lead disappears. Perp with the mine setup and 2 big damage cards in the hand. Landing 1, looking for the second kinetic wave available as well. But Perp's also kind of trapped, taking a little bit of chip damage.
Yeah, and speaking of chip damage, we got Push Slash into backstep right there, and Purple closing out the game there with the kinetic wave into Rag. Really the bane of Papa Gurgle right now. Just being constantly taken out by kinetic wave Rag combos. So we do have the bracket reset, it looks like.
Yep, Grand Finals reset. Everything is reset. You have to start with the starter decks, and that's where we're at. Papa Gurgle Purple 0-0. 1 set remains.
Yeah, so it looks like Papa Gurgle will definitely need to either upgrade his defense even further than what it is now, or maybe upgrade the offense even. You know, sometimes offense can be a good defense, so maybe Papa Gurgle will have to try and look for more hits to interrupt. In the trap again, but managing to just barely dodge that guillotine.
Good dodge away from the guillotine as Perp will try and land those big damage cards, but the back corners have been a safe space for Papa Gurgle quite a bit, as not quite reached by a lot of Perp setups.
Yeah, once again, just Perp really catching Papa Gurgle in the back with those traps, and then managing to land that Gravitas into the Ragnarok combo.
Oh, but Papa Gurgle firing right back, equalizing just a little bit, and dodging away from the triple barrel as well, but getting caught by the guillotine. Has a lot of cards in hand for a little bit of damage, but the shotgun doesn't land, and dodging away barely from the Align into Ragnarok.
Alright, now we got Papa Gurgle on a full hand right here, and Perp not with really all that much. So this might be Papa Gurgle's chance to get a little bit aggressive, but unfortunately the trap's just zoning him out, and he's unable to really do much of anything.
Perp now getting the bow snipe, so confident with that setup, and 16 health remaining. One opening could do it. Align Ragnarok is in the hand technically, but dodged away from by Papa Gurgle.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle finding a little bit of poke right here, but it will not be enough in order to close up this game. Papa Gurgle is going to need a bit more than that. And now the extra credit. Oh, once again, taking another game off of Papa Gurgle.
Fade away coming through, and fade away to start the next game as well. Perp has gotten so much consistent damage, but this time it is the guillotine actually being scaled a little bit by that one shotgun hit.
Yeah, unfortunately for Papa Gurgle, now that guillotine is going to hit quite hard of Perp. Even if he does manage to play defense successfully against this hand, now he has to worry about guillotine just completely chunking him in the next hand. Oh. And managing to successfully avoid that kinetic wave into Rag combo. Good stuff from Papa.
Yeah, managing to dodge away from it. Has dodged away from so many things, but against Perp, even if you dodge well, it feels like there's always another thing to dodge, another card on the table, and Perp has a scary hand approaching.
Yeah, you know, dodging well one time is not enough. You know, you have to dodge well the entire time, and then all it takes is just a few in order for Perp to win. And there it is again. Oh, the bane of Papa Gurgle, the kinetic wave into the Rag.
Right, going for the bow snipe, going for the fadeaway, and again, these fadeaways so good for Perp so far. So much consistent damage, but Papa Gurgle with the lead is a little bit scary. The guillotine, though, connects, and suddenly that lead is no more.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle's overall just defensive stamina is just really waning here, and unfortunately getting hit by a bit more of these setups that he could have possibly avoided beforehand.
Scary cards in hand, not quite connected, but the bow snipe available. Counter hit though, Papa Gurgle in position, 3 health remaining, Align, fade away, no. Shield break, bow snipe!
Once again, the fadeaway catching Papa Gurgle, and I believe this is, I believe we are on the third game right now, so Papa Gurgle will need to make some adaptations, otherwise we could just see a full double 3-0 sweep by Purple here in Grand Finals.
Looking very scary for Papa Gurgle. Had a big chance in that previous game, but Perp was a little bit clutch. Got the shield break at the right time. Papa Gurgle's going to need to be perfect on the defense.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need to see some excellent defense here by Papa Gurgle. Unfortunately, just a lot of the time getting caught by these traps, you know, getting caught by these trap setups by Purple. And, you know, sometimes even getting out of them, trying to walk forward, getting kinetic waved, you know. So Papa Gurgle will really need to think outside the box to avoid being predictable.
Such a scary situation. Like playing a horror game, but Papa Gurgle is daring to poke with the Sparkler, trying to find an opening, but another fadeaway comes in. The lead dwindles yet again, and this triple barrel kinetic wave is looking so scary.
Yeah, you know, the fadeaway hit percentage in this set by Purple is honestly insane. You know, considering just how hard Papa Gurgle can be to hit sometimes, to be able to hit fadeaway this many times is quite impressive.
Yeah, there's something that Perp does that makes it so much harder to dodge. The mental load that she puts on you is crazy. Like right here, standing in the front row. Papa Gurgle, though, interrupting, getting the line out of here and dodging away from the triple barrel as well, successfully maneuvering out of the situation. Now with the big lead, could possibly turn this into a win, but the mine once again trinks it.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle managing to take the lead here, but unfortunately, that will not be enough. And Papa Gurgle gets hit by triple barrel into the Ragnarok and left with just 2 HP. You know, any hit right now from Purple is pretty much going to take this game.
Bow Snipe the mine, so many ways to kill for Perp. The kinetic wave available as well. Papa Gurgle dancing around all of it so far. Not getting hit by the Bow Snipe either. The fadeaway almost closes it out, but not quite.
And now we have both players here waiting for a fresh hand, you know. Both players having the damage necessary in order to take out their opponent. Is that going to be it? Nope. Unfortunately, Papa Gurgle not having the damage to close out the game there. But he does have the minigun in hand and managing to take this game and save the set. But it will still be a couple more games before Papa Gurgle is going to be able to come back.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle taking a sec to breathe. This is a set that's gone down to the wire. The past 2 games were such a small margin, right? They were last hit, both of them, and they split them 1 apiece.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle managing to just narrowly avoid getting 6-0'd here. So definitely very understandable why he needs to take a little bit of a breather, you know? This is a very high-stress matchup, you know?
Right, and as we're looking to load into the next game... Are we loading into the next game?
That is a good question. I am also stuck on the loading screen. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Already in the game? Oh, they're not. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so Perp spilled her water. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Looks like the water is cleaned up.
And we're ready to head into game 4. This is such a close set.
Yeah, each of these games, you know, definitely some very games going on between these 2 players. Oh, what? He hit level 40? Oh, is he changing skin?
Oh? It's different poet? Wait.
Maybe a different title?
Different nameplate?
Heart of the Cards? Oh my
Heart
goodness.
of the Cards. Oh my.
Papa Gurgle. Betting on the Heart of the Cards to take this set back.
It's gonna be... This is gonna be scary.
Yeah, this is gonna be quite scary for Papa Gurgle, you know? This is a very scary character to try and
Oh wait, we might be lobby bugged. Oh, we're lobby bugged. Give me a sec.
lobby bugged.
Yeah, Perp didn't load in, I think. Oh, are we starting for real this time? I think we're good. I think we're good.
Okay, now we just wait. Now we just wait for the start.
There we go.
There we are. Alright, so starting off this game, we have, I believe, game 4 of Papa Gurgle versus Purple.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle starting off with a little bit, but there's the mine into Ragnarok. Perp starting off with so much damage and with 2 big cards. Fade away. that she's hit so many times, but interrupted this time. Papa Gurgle making sure not to get hit by these big damage cards. The movement, the interrupts with the Sparkler are so good so far.
Yeah, and Papa Gurgle just managing to immediately close that gap that Purple created right there with that explosive start.
Papa Gurgle now fishing, looking for a Sparkler, looking for something, but Perp is also staying clear of that straight line.
Ooh, and Perp managing to set up that kinetic wave into the Ragnarok combo, you know, something that she's been able to land a ton in this set. So now Papa Gurgle's gotta watch out for the guillotine poke and successfully avoids it, but unfortunately gets hit by the mine.
It's such a scary situation for Papa Gurgle. This could be the end of the tournament if Perp gets one more opening. The bow snipe is in hand, the thunder as well. Perp moving so scarily here, has the line, has so many cards to work with, has the mine dodged away from by Papa Gurgle, and Papa Gurgle interrupts the fadeaway as well.
Yeah, pretty much just any card in Purple's hand into connected into by W2 will just immediately end this match. Papa Gurgle definitely gonna be playing this game at a very high level of stress.
But incredible movement from Papa Gurgle, not getting caught by any of it. Trying to stay alive still, but it's so difficult. That mine's so scary, but it finally disappears. Papa Gurgle now looking for an opening, trying to use these cards in hand, getting a shotgun, but not getting the whirl afterwards.
Yeah, Papa Gurgle successfully managing to avoid a lot of these hits. Once again, some good discipline there, avoiding that mine setup, but unfortunately getting caught by the triple barrel into the trap, into the rag, and that will be Purple taking this tournament over Papa Gurgle with the reset.
Yeah, 6-1 in grand finals. Congratulations to Perp for taking it, and really well done too. Papa Gurgle looked incredibly strong today, but Perp was just on another level.
Yeah, definitely. Perp really just ascending here, you know, losing to Papa Gurgle earlier and making some insane adaptations to be able to win this set so convincingly despite losing earlier.
Yeah. And I guess we should ask for an interview briefly.
Oh yes, let's get Perp in here.
Congratulations on your victory, Perp. How does it feel?
Great. It feels great to win a somewhat big tournament, I guess. Sunny Shuffle's big enough. Yeah.
Definitely a somewhat big tournament, and in a bracket reset fashion as well, heading to the losers for a bid, facing off against one of your spiritual successors in
Yes.
Brez.
Brez, my twin. Rest in peace, Shopkeeper.
Are you predicting some big nerfs coming in?
Yep, not gonna see that mine into rag tree anymore.
Windfall, you got any questions?
Yeah, so I would consider this a fairly big tournament. You know, we did have what 27 entrants, I think, for this. You know, that's definitely on the larger side of what we have. And definitely some threatening players as well. You know, Papa Gurgle here, we have Residential here. So a lot of the not only do we have some threatening alphas, we also had some very scary non-alphas that have been just overall doing very good. So you definitely had a lot to get past.
Yeah. I was really surprised when I saw Eden Devin.
Oh yeah, oh my god, that was so hype when I saw Eden Dev sign up. I even put it on Twitter.
Yeah,
that was really present.
When I saw Residential beat up Eden Dev, I was like, oh god, the nerfs really are coming.
Yeah, I was joking around with Saya, just like, oh, Eden Dev's gonna freaking win his first set and then have to fight Residential, and then next tomorrow we're gonna see Guillotine +5 recovery frames.
Guillotine now does 2 damage.
And recovery frames.
Guillotine now only does damage when you're behind.
Guillotine doesn't do damage if you have the lead.
All right, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep it short. Anything you want to say?
You know, please don't nerf Shopkeep. And give me more shield break cards. Yeah.
Well, I do have one more question. So, it definitely looked like in that first set you had against Papa Gurgle, it definitely looked like you were struggling to find the right hits. You know, Papa Gurgle's defense can be really hard to overcome sometimes. So, like, what adaptation, you know, did you make? Like, what light did you see in the dark that allowed you to make such an explosive comeback in Grand Finals?
Being patient, to be honest. Like, Papa Gurgle plays patiently, I have to play patiently. My deck is supposed to be punishes mistakes, so I can't just rush in all the time, which I kept doing against Papa Gurgle. But also felt like I didn't want to make the games too Resident Sleeper, like, didn't want it to be a back row fest, but for the win.
Yeah, you gotta do what's necessary, and Papa Gurgle overall is not really somebody that makes as many mistakes as most other players. If anything, he makes probably some of the least amount of exploitable mistakes. So he's definitely a very hard person to hit sometimes.
Well, on that note, it's time to say goodbye. Windfall, anything you want to say before we close the stream?
Yeah, this was definitely very fun to watch. You know, I'm very happy with how my two trainees who did enter reform. You know, one of them made top 8, the other one just barely didn't make it, but they still got quite far. And I think this is Sting's first tournament. So for a first, you know, taking a set over Edendev, you know, I'm definitely very proud of them. And overall, this was just a very fun experience to watch this tournament and to commentate it and to see such a very cool winners bracket happen here. So yeah, till next week.
Till next week.
See ya.